Ahoy! I'm the comic book hunter, also known as just Hunter.
Hello there, I'm History of the Flash, but you could call me JD.
I'm Comic Rebirth, and I'm still working on my intro.
And this is a hero story, episode
121.
121. Thank you for joining us. For those of you just joining us on a hero story is a podcast all about DC and Marvel superheroes and comic books. We usually start off the week by going over the news of the week, ranging from live action news to video game news to comic news, all about superheroes. After that, we go over the comics of the week. This week's comics are a lot. Death Metal number 6, I believe. Endless Winters part 1 and 2. Iron Man number 4. They're behind me right now, my comics. Batman, the last issue of Bendis Superman. Rorschach number 3, I believe. And I think that might be it, unless you guys read a few extra things. But before we get into that, we have a little bit of a hero story announcement. You want to take it away, JD or Harper?
Yeah, I'll introduce him. Harper is obviously a friend of the show. He's been on for the last 30 weeks because we love him to death for some reason. He started out as just a follower. He made his own account, and yeah, we just liked him a lot. We have clearly good chemistry because you guys seem to love having him on. So Hunter extended the invitation. I mean, we both extended the invitation, but Hunter extended the invitation to Harper and asked him to be a permanent host on a hero story, and he accepted because what else would he do?
It was more of a threat than an ask.
he said, "Join a hero story or die."
Yeah.
So welcome to a hero story, Harper. We are very happy to have you on the podcast, even though you're already on. You were basically already a host, but now it's in writing.
Yeah, it feels like a natural progression. I do want to bring one thing up because I think it's funny. Is we were talking recently about how there has to be at least one person out there who has watched a hero story or listened to a hero story from the beginning and is like, every time now Tyler or I are on is like, these new guys, they're ruining the format. And you can tell that one dude's going to be listening to this. He's going to be like, no!
The hero story purist.
Yeah. I was an OG hero story fan.
The guy who listened to episode 1 when I ended episode 1 with, we'll try to make every episode around half an hour, but yeah.
I forgot that was the original plan.
It did not happen.
No.
Last week's was 2 hours long. Just
believe it or not, when we started this podcast, me and Hunter used to run a stopwatch on the side, so we would know we were getting close to the half hour mark. We're like, oh boy.
Wow, what happened? How the mighty have fallen.
We used to be now to review Batman issue 17. I didn't like it. Moving on.
Wait, I'm still like that.
Yeah. But yeah,
what did you think of this comic? Yeah. Next.
That is spot on you. You're like, I read Flash and then one other issue, and it was fine. Anyway, that's been a hero story, everyone.
Me talking about Flash is like a full presidential speech, and then me talking about any other book is just yeah, it was a book that existed. Yes.
But for real though, welcome, Harper. We're happy to have you as a real guest. You're on the website honored. As of now for the audience listening. You should be on the website. We should have posted about you on a hero story Instagram and everything. So Insanity. It's official.
I'm trying to hide the excitement because if I start yelling into a microphone, it's going to sound terrible. But I am.
Well, you are official.
Dream come true,
story.
Legitimately. I know. I'm going to cry.
Official hero story because you spent how much money recently on his podcast?
Oh my god! So I bought this pop filter. I bought this microphone, and I bought a webcam. And as international listeners will know, Australia is terrible when it comes to the value of things.
USA.
I believe I spent just over $500 on equipment this week.
Oh my god! Okay, that's more than me. No, that's about.
This is a special announcement. Hopefully by next week I will have a completely new internet connection, and hopefully it means I will not drop out anymore.
Boo!
Yeah, you're gonna have to change that bingo card.
Yeah, we'll wait and see if it works.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, we're looking all professional now. You got a pop filter. I got one too. A bit of a new setup. JD, you still got that nice, beautiful wall.
Listen, I'm gonna put up a slab. My slab. I'm gonna put it up probably right here.
Gotta figure out
I just got to figure out how to hang it. But it will probably be going up here because I think it'll be a good look. I bought a new shirt, so yeah, really repping the hero story.
It looks completely different to all your other shirts.
So someone DM me and they were like, "Do you put that on just for the show?" And I'm like, "No, I just wear this all day, every day, like of my life."
You're like a cartoon character. Like the animators don't want to animate like a new clothing for them. So you just wear the same thing every day.
It's
JD,
true,
you just
kids.
got some of your CGC comics done, right? Aren't they done? And
No,
now
they
process of-
CGC received them. So for those who don't know, Jeff Johns was doing a CGC signing. I think I talked about it on the show. I sent in 3 books, one to be signed by Jeff and Jason Fabach, and then 2 just to be signed by Jeff. I kind of wish I would have sent in a few more issues. Now, granted, it was very expensive to send in what I already sent in, but I do think it's like the only time that Jeff is going to do a signature series since he's hashtag canceled. But no, but
later in the show actually.
So I sent in my copy of Doomsday Clock #1 with the Rorschach cover.
Very nice.
I also sent in my copy of Flash 197, first appearance of Doom. And then I sent in Batman 3 Jokers, the Batman cover. So they're all gonna look nice. If I could do it again, I probably would have also sent in DC Rebirth 1, my original copy from 2016, just because that issue has so much sentimental value. And then I probably also would have sent in wow, I'm gonna get the number wrong. I think Flash 182 or 184, the Captain Cold origin issue. I think 182.
I think 82, yeah.
But I love that Scott Collins cover, and it would have looked great with a Jeff signature on it. So I kind of wish I would have sent those 2 in as well, but I think what I get back is still going to look really good. And I did spend a ton of money, so
I guarantee he'll do.
Now you know who really regrets not sending something in. This.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm pointing in the right direction, but
you're not.
Guy,
but yeah, I regret it. I forgot, and then JD reminded me. He's like, "Hey, we got to do it right now," and I was like, "Hey." Money.
Hey, I'm not gonna do it, eh?
Now the cool thing is CGC will not charge your account until they actually receive your book. So I just got charged the other day, despite buying it like in November.
Actually?
Yes.
Oh,
so you actually had a lot of time.
Oh, oh man, because I love CGC. Damn it, I don't have any signatures. So yeah, for those on YouTube behind me, I have a few CGC covers at the moment.
Yeah, so I'm going to be getting 3 slabs in addition to the... I bought this one pre-slabbed in the 9.8 because, I don't know, it seemed like a lot of work to get it myself.
9.8, I didn't even realize it was that. Damn.
Yeah, it's a very pretty copy, and I just wanted it for the... Well, my camera's kind of ass, but it's on the top, it says Wally West comes the Flash because Crisis 12 where he takes to the end.
Yeah.
Now
is that a first edition?
Yes, first
9.8 first edition of Crisis 12. That is incredible.
How much did you pay for that? Just out of curiosity.
I paid $75 with 15 shipping, so $90. The census said that I probably should have paid around 75 without shipping, but I still think it was worth it. I really like it. It's a nice one. It's my first slab, so it'll be special to me for a long time to come. I also think it's a really nice issue to have. You know, it's a cool anti-monitor cover. I want to have it side by side with my dream Grail comic, the Flash 110, the first appearance of Wally West. Have them side by side of like first Kid Flash, first Flash. I think that'll look really good.
And then the first time Wally West killed.
Oh God!
In Crisis, yeah, you gotta get that too next to it.
I thought nobody dies Wally West.
First time he commits manslaughter.
That's a good reference, JD. Very well done.
Thank you. I am History of the Flash after all. Ladies, hit me up. No,
Harper, just a question. I know you live on an island, but do you want to get into CGC ever?
I really like the idea of it, and there are a lot of issues that I'd want to like get, but I don't know how much money it would cost me. Like, man, I just spent $5,000 on podcast equipment.
Oof.
Do you have any like key issues that you own right now? Like just not?
No, not really. No, I did buy. It's not a special issue at all, but I did buy a first edition copy of like the first issue of the 98 Iron Man series, which isn't like that special, but it's cool to just have a first edition first issue of an Iron Man run. No, apart from that, no. All the cool stuff I have is like reprints. Like I've got reprints of Crisis and reprints of like classic Flash.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I'm slowly starting to get back into it. So yeah.
The thing about slabs Yeah, the thing about slabs and key issues to me is that like it's a disease. Like you get your first one, and then you're like, I need more. Like it's like a junkie, honestly. I swear to God. No, like,
It is,
like,
yeah.
I need another hit of key issues.
Just as soon as you
Not,
start,
not,
like,
the, not the worst thing to be addicted to, I guess. You know,
no,
it's
no, yeah, it's not
but,
hurting us
but
financially.
other
it
than
might be.
financially,
yeah.
I have a ton of slabs that I want to get into. Some I think I'll end up buying pre-slabbed. Like when I get the Flash 110, it'll already be slabbed. I don't want to deal with trying to get a raw copy. I mean, it's from 1959, so it's
Yeah.
ancient.
Mhm.
But I think, and I said this to the hunting to my fellow hunters on Instagram that I think that
Me and my
2021 is going
clones.
to 2021 is going to be the year that I got the Flash 110. I'm just gonna do it. Just gonna full send. So I will have it on my wall.
New Year's Day. You have to see.
I don't know about all that, but
I just got the first appearance of She-Hulk yesterday. I met with a stranger
Saw that.
online, and
That's cool. Yeah.
he was very old, and I was a little nervous, but I got it.
It looked good. I
Yeah.
saw it. Yeah, it looked
Yeah,
good.
there's.
I can't imagine how a Canadian Facebook Marketplace transaction went. Like, sorry, was it a
Yeah.
long drive out here?
They apologize and give it to you for free because you drove out to them.
There was no Timmy's on the way here. Oh, I'm so sorry.
of course.
Oh, did you brave the snow just to get over here? Oh, jeepers! You can have it for free, eh?
That's basically what happened. But he was just like, "Hey, so do you want to pay me now or just in a few days?" I'm like, "I want."
Oh my god, that is so
literally,
Canadian.
I was just like, "Well, I get paid now. Like, I want to take it right now." And he's like, "Oh, yeah. Just like I understand most people get paid on Friday and all." I'm like, "Well, I could
Oh my
pay now,
god,
but
that wouldn't happen here. If you didn't
like,
rock up with the money in Australia,
they're
they'd like
being
beat you to death.
very trustworthy." He's like, "Okay, well, yeah, I don't know how much this is worth, but since it's the first appearance, I'm thinking $100." I'm like, "Yep, that works." It's going for 600 right now for like a 9.
First of all, terrible negotiation skills. I was a businessman doing business. Okay, you
Yeah.
could have gotten down to at least 80.
Yeah, I didn't barter at all. I saw the 100 and I was like, "Yeah, deal."
You gotta
I
barter
can't.
on any kind.
I can't do that at all. My father can do that really well. He'll go to people at like markets and be like, "Nah, 40, take it or leave it," and then he'll walk away and they'll be like, "Wait, come back." I will go up to them and just be like, "Whatever you want, here you go."
they have a meme about Italian dads that they just show up to like a retail, like a Home Depot, and they're like, yeah, this says $40, but I was thinking like 30 if I paid cash. And it's like, sir, this is a retail store. We don't barter. And it's like, yeah, but I got cash. So
Take it or leave it.
I'm a big fan of bartering for comics. I've gone back and forth on a lot of issues.
I mean, I'm kind of bartering right now. Well, I guess bidding, but against this other guy. It's just me and one other person bidding for the first appearance of the Vision. And
Avengers 57.
Yeah. So right now I'm winning currently. There's 2 days left.
How much? How much?
How much?
120 right now.
Is it slabbed or no?
Not slabbed, but it looks in good condition.
My uncle owns 2 copies of Avengers 57. I saw them both, and I definitely want him to get them slabbed because it looks so cool.
It does, yeah. I like the cover a lot.
My uncle has he has a crazy collection which includes the Holy Grail Avengers #1 from 1963.
Whoa!
He owns Avengers 1 and Avengers 4, which is the first Captain America.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah.
He owns like a ton of key issues. Hulk 181, which is like the first Wolverine.
Yeah.
Giant Size X-Men, which is second Wolverine, and a bunch of the first new X-Men, like Nightcrawler and all that. He owns like a bunch of cool issues. I went through his collection one day, and just key after key, I couldn't believe it. And like some of them, he clearly knew they were going to be big one day because he would buy like doubles of them. So like the first Frank Miller on Daredevil, he bought 2 of. The Visions, 2 of. But yeah, he's got a lot of.
This guy's a genius.
And I didn't even go through his full collection. I want to see it all. He has 3 of the first Taskmaster. I was like, yeah, that's going to be hot when Black Widow comes out. So
yeah,
maybe he'll just like give me the Daredevil keys. He has Death of like Electra and all that. Like it'd be cool.
This is so funny because like 2 weeks ago, JD was like, "I have no sympathy for people who collect and sell single issues. They're vicious." And now he's like, "Yeah, my uncle does like that all the time."
To be fair, a lot of the key hunters are very vicious because and again, it's a profit game, but it's like a little too extreme. Like buying like 10 of a single, like 10 of like a new.
That's
issue.
a bit much, yeah.
Like buying like 100 of the first punchline, so I can't get an issue. I can't even get one to read, and it's like this is brutal.
Oh yeah, that's a good point in general. Even just this latest Batman run in general is a lot of key issues, especially seeing that Ghostmaker might be like a big character in the future moving forward for Batman. So I'm glad I have that first appearance. This is like a strange start to the podcast.
Listen,
No, it's cool. I like
think
this.
I think people like the podcast like this because it's more of kind of just like a natural conversation.
Yeah.
Hey, that one dude who missed us when it was just JD and Hunter. What do you think of this so far?
I hate it. He's had the whole thing on mute.
Every time we
No,
talk
but-
about Jessica Cruz, Green Lantern, he just mutes it. Like, that's not
I
Is
like
that
talking
first
about
listener
it, but-
Jeff Thorne?
Yeah.
I will not listen to Hal Jordan.
But yeah, let's get into the podcast because there is actually a ton of news to cover. Hunter
Yeah,
actually,
comic news in
you know,
general.
covers the news.
Yeah, so just in general, we have one bit of Marvel news, a ton of DC news, one Marvel comic to review, and a ton of DC comics. So if you hate DC and love Marvel, stay tuned. We'll still talk about it, but not much. We'll start with the Marvel news. Marvel announced outside of their last presentation where they announced all their shows, Disney Plus series called Marvel Legends. It's a montage of best moments in the MCU from characters. Episode 1's going to be about Scarlet Witch and Vision. Not much is shown. They just said it's just going to be showing the best moments of.
Yeah.
I have
iconic
this. I have
moments.
this inside scoop.
Oh, inside scoop.
I want you
Mark
guys to
Ruffalo.
keep this just within the podcast, but
Okay.
this has already been released. It's called YouTube.
Oh,
Why is this a
got a
thing?
point.
Like, you can
Yeah,
literally just
you
watch
know,
a
you've
YouTube
gotta do-
compilation of every like Vision scene or every Scarlet.
How
Like,
funny would that be though if they just took other people's compilations from YouTube, but then did
Thank you
the
for
Marvel
watching.
Studios intro?
I feel like we might get like exclusive interviews from like the actor.
All I'd want is like deleted scene stuff. That would be cool. But if it's
Agreed.
just like stuff, I'd be like, I'll just watch the movie. Unless it's like Thor: The Dark World, in which I would rather watch a 3-minute version than an hour, 2-hour version.
True.
I will maybe check out the first episode to see how it is. If it is just a montage,
Yeah.
I doubt I'll finish. I'll end up leaving. Like, I've seen these. I know what happens. I know they're great moments, but this is a
They
YouTube
know that we
montage.
have Disney Plus already, so they're just like, they know that we're going to be scrolling through, waiting for like WandaVision to come out, and then just be like, oh, Marvel Legends. We'll just
don't
see.
know. I don't think it's a terrible idea because, like, you know, sometimes before a movie, I'm like, damn, I got to rewatch these movies. So it is kind
Yeah.
of like, hey, don't feel like rewatching this movie? You know, go ahead. Like before Thor: Love and Thunder, do you really want to watch Thor and Thor 2 and Thor 3?
Yeah,
Like,
it'd be
no.
good for those who don't watch every MCU movie because the MCU functions as like a TV show where like everything is kind of building off the last installment. So
This'll
it'd be cool if
good.
it's like,
oh yeah, that's a
yeah,
good point.
it's like, oh, I haven't seen, you know, Age of Ultron. Oh, let me just watch this highlight reel of what was going on in that. Oh, now I'm set for WandaVision.
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of, it'll be good later on in the line too, because with the MCU becoming TV shows now, I personally
Yeah.
occasionally will do like an MCU marathon. It's gonna be really difficult in like 5 years from now.
It's gonna be like a week. Yeah.
Yeah, it already is a week.
Let me watch the highlight reel of Iron Man 3. Nothing's playing. Oh yeah. there
Oh,
is one.
hey, no, I will not handle Iron Man
3
slander on here.
slander.
No, absolutely not. You're
Iron
gonna
Man-
slander Iron Man 3, but praise Batman versus Superman, you idiot. Sorry.
You're goddamn right. I am.
Yeah.
It was like an uncomfortable noise.
Anyway, that was my last episode of A Hero Story. Thank you.
Thanks
He was
joining.
resigned from a hero story and breaking news.
I'll just delete you off the website real quick. For the DC news now, since we mentioned VBS there. Ray Fisher's investigation with Warner Brothers is over, eh? It's
Eh?
done. I didn't mean to be Canadian.
Some
eh?
of it, eh?
So to catch you up to speed, Ray Fisher said the behind the scenes of Justice League was really bad. The bosses were terrible, especially Jeff Johns and Joss Whedon. Launched an investigation with Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers recently said this week that the investigation has been concluded. Ray Fisher has been on Twitter being like, everyone, we did it, but nothing's happened. Jeff Johns is still around. Joss Whedon lost his role for directing a future project a few weeks ago, and Ray Fisher saying this is definitely due to the investigation.
Yeah, that was interesting. It was like Joss Whedon dropping out and giving like a valid reason about COVID, and then Ray Fisher is like, "This is a result of the investigation." I'm
Yeah.
like, it could be, or it might not be at all. So who knows?
It's kind of like when a politician will like claim a win on something that has like little to nothing to do with them. Like they'll be like, "Yep, that happened
JD,
while
don't get too political because there are some examples right now where that might
that
be.
happened while I existed." No, but it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I always found the whole case kind of weak. And listen, if there was mistreatment on the set of Justice League, I obviously want that to be addressed.
Yeah.
However, I feel like things are kind of being stretched for the dramatics, because do I think Jeff Johns was like setting them down like, go make Justice League right now? No.
Yeah.
It was probably more like Joss Whedon's like, hey, I need you to lay on top of Gal Gadot here, and Jeff's like, yeah, do whatever he says. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, it's bad. Like, we shouldn't be like, oh, it's no big deal.
No, it's not. And that's the thing. It's not downplaying what happened. I think it's just a situation where it's hard to really align yourself with either side when you don't have any information either way. Like, all we have is Ray Fisher going, oh, Jeff Johns said this, Joss Whedon said this.
Yeah.
And some of it you're like, oh, that sounds bad. And some of it you go, that just sounds like, you
A
know,
movie.
any
A
two people
boss.
who are kind of, you know, big egos disagreeing about things. And it's awful. Like, there was the thing about, you know, Joss Whedon willfully lightening the skin of black actors to like erase diversity. But I'm like, you know, they put a filter on the entire film. And I'm like, of course that's going to be a result. So who knows? And if that was an intentional thing, sorry, JD's dad, I won't say anything, but you know, Joss Whedon is a bad man, and that's a terrible thing to do. But who knows if that was intentional or a result of, oh, we need to make this look like a Marvel film, so let's make it bright and poppy and funky, and then that was what came from it. So we don't really know, and that's the thing that annoys me is I just want to know. Like, I want to know. I want Ray Fisher to come out and be like, this specifically, this happened, and everyone to be like, that's exactly what happened. Because apparently we're just stuck in this weird stage.
I think, you know, in the modern age, we love to talk about like, oh, I have the evidence, and then someone's like, all right, show the evidence. They're like, I have it. I will show it when the time comes, and then the time never comes. So
no, and like it's a big claim too, to be like Joss Whedon was willfully whitewashing actors in a movie. That's a big deal. And it's not even like he's not even recasting people to take over a role. He's going, oh no, those people are too dark for my movie, so I'm going to lighten them up. Like, that is awful. That is, you should not be in the film industry whatsoever. But who knows if that was actually real? Like, we don't know. It's like, that's the thing.
And that's the biggest thing in this. Like, we just don't know. And
yeah, exactly.
And Joss Whedon, they haven't made statements, which I didn't expect them to make statements on this unless something like really came of it. But like, I just feel like it's a lot of, as of right now at least, a lot of he says, she says, and it's so speculative that at this point, you know, whatever you believe before is what you believe after. So, you know,
it's such a messy situation. It's a situation we shouldn't know about, because it's become this public ordeal, and everyone is rushing to sides. Like, I want to be here and sit here and go, Jeff Johns is innocent because I love Jeff Johns' writing, but I can't fully sit here and go, yeah, Jeff Johns is innocent, because I don't know, but I also don't know that he's not. So I'm just like,
it's weird because, you know, there's so many stories about Jeff, like on the set of Stargirl, and you know, when he did a Smallville episode, and like all these projects he's worked on over the years, of like how like he was such a great guy.
Yeah, that speak to the opposite.
He worked with Richard Donner, right? That's how he got to start in the industry. You know, Donner from the original Superman movie. So like, you know, he was like from that old school style of like, you know, production, which is like, you know, it makes you think like, was he really like this? Like, if he was such a bad guy,
if you know anything about how films were made,
you know, like, why is it just come out now? So it's definitely a lot of speculation, but at the end of the day, like, you know, they say the investigation's over, all right, but what's come out of it? You know, we could do the whole accountability over entertainment, but you know, if nothing's
come from it. For me, I think the most legitimate one is probably Joss Whedon, just because of like his track record with certain things. I think Joss Whedon is clearly someone who has a massive ego and wants things his way, and when they don't go his way, he has a bit of a meltdown. And that's what it sounds like. And it's like, that is shitty, and that sucks. But also, I'm like, is that all we've got? Is that, you know, a dude is kind of a dick? That's all we've got. So
as
who
of
knows?
now, basically, yeah.
Here's the thing. I would honestly adore for Ray Fisher to come out and be like, here's everything. And then for me to just like completely be like, why is there a photo of, oh my God, it's Joss Whedon, but Thanos. Wow. For those who are listening, JD held up a photo to the camera of Thanos with an orange beard looking like Joss Whedon.
I thought that was you, Harper. I didn't realize that was Thanos.
Yeah, that's me. It's me last episode.
Warner Brothers since said that they appreciate Ray Fisher for coming out and telling us this, and they're really glad they did this. And if anything else is happening in the industry, they really want people in the industry to come out and speak to Warner Brothers and be like, this is what happened. Please investigate this.
It kind of sounds like the principal's office in like elementary school. Like, if you see anything that's bad, please report it, because we are going to take swift and serious action. And then
they were
nothing. You never hear about it again. And then you graduate and you're like, remember that one time we had like an assembly about this?
Well, that's literally this case. I think in a year, no one is going to remember it. Like Jeff Johns will be writing books. Joss Whedon will be directing stuff.
I hope Jeff's writing books, because as of right now, he's got zip zilch zero.
And then I think Ray Fisher will be fine, because he's kind of, I think people sort of did rush to his defense, and that's probably a good thing, is that people, assumed, why would he come out for no reason? Like, it doesn't make sense for him to basically put his career on the line if he didn't feel something. And even if it was like, something that was targeted to him, but it might not be a general problem in the industry. It might have just been like people were awful to him. It is good for him to still speak out. But again, that's where we come back and we go, who knows what's actually true?
My favorite headline is Ray Fisher put his whole film career on the line. And it's like, name 3 Ray Fisher films that the Justice League. Cannot name one. Cannot name that one where he's a boxer. Like,
I felt like he did
he's
Broadway
doing
before or something.
No, he did. He was a Broadway actor.
Okay,
he's doing, but he's doing Cyborg with Ezra Miller's Flash, right?
Oh, joy. Booyah.
No, booyah.
It's also, this is a case where I feel like
booyah.
I probably should research more into it before we talked about it, because I don't know. The only thing I really know is that whole thing with the color correction stuff. Not color correction as in
I think
people. I'm talking about like what they did to the film to like change the entire look of it and how that affected people. But at the same time, I could be saying
Ray
that
Fisher
wrong. So.
read Doomsday Clock and he's like, Alan Moore was right. This should have never been made.
Some people
that
are
would be
on that.
on you. Ray Fisher is like Alan Moore's like biggest fan.
How dare they reboot DC in 2011?
How funny would it be if like Ray Fisher got on Twitter and he was like, man, 3 Jokers was pretty shit. Anyway, accountability over entertainment.
Ray Fisher's a huge comic hater, I guess. Ray Fisher's the guy who listened to a Hero Story episode 1. He's the purist. Just hates that. So yeah, Ray Fisher seems to be happy now that the investigation's over and that we're actually getting the Snyder Cut. Speaking of the Snyder Cut,
oh, very good.
Thank you. But not very good.
Don't encourage him, please. Don't
swear words, Hunter. That's the news. It's swear words.
Snyder Cut is going to be R-rated. Snyder straight up said that. He said it's likely going to be R-rated because Batman drops an F-bomb in this. Steppenwolf will be cutting off heads, and Ray Fisher himself, Cyborg's backstory is too real. That's what Snyder said. It's too real.
Oh, that's interesting. Maybe they're going to tackle like some social issues or something.
Maybe, but why does it need to be rated R? It's Justice League. I loved the Justice League as a kid.
Because it's going to be funny to hear Batman just drop the F-bomb.
And I see people defending this in comment sections, being like, well, it's okay. Batman swears in the comics. No, he doesn't.
I mean, every character swears in comics.
No, dude. He cursed in the comics. I saw Titans trailer. He curses.
He curses in the comics, man. Like
he taught Dick how to swear.
It's just why I don't like this. It's okay for some movies to be rated R, superhero movies. I think Logan was fantastic. Deadpool is a good choice, but Justice League, the character with Wonder Woman and Superman teaming up is rated
I cannot wait to see what it is. Like, I hope it's like everything in the movie pauses and Batman just drops an F-bomb at such like a random point.
Like, just right now, in this day of age, Wonder Woman alone inspires so many kids, so many. And those kids are going to be on their parents' HBO Max and see Justice League and a big picture of Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, be like, oh my God. Click on it and just see Batman swear and then a guy get decapitated.
Probably by Batman. I mean, if it's Snyder's Batman.
Why? I hate this.
It's odd. It's a really odd. I remember seeing the news and I went, oh yeah, that'll make the movie better. Like,
for me, I feel like it's just like imagine BVS was rated R, right? And instead of like when Doomsday's about a laser Batman, instead of him going, oh, it's just oh fuck. Like is it that big? Is it that could be meme of the week, by the way? Oh fuck. Is it that big of a difference? Not really.
Yeah,
So
no.
I don't know. I just at the end of the day, it really makes no difference to me. Like okay, they can curse. Okay, we can see like a little bit more blood.
It doesn't to any of us here. I'm just more so thinking for Justice League in general as a family friendly thing.
The thing about the Snyder DCU though, it's not meant for kids by any stretch of the imagination. Like when Lois jumped in the bathtub with when Clark jumped in the bathtub with Lois, I was like, kids, leave the room. It's Amy Adams.
And then you just see splashing and then it cuts to the next scene, and that's okay.
I want the rated R version of
You got the rated R version.
Exclusively the bathtub scene.
I desperately hope it's like Ezra Miller's Flash that drops the F-bomb. Batman's we need people like you with special ability.
I'm scared of obnoxiously tall people and bullets and fuck. Flies.
I got no fucking friends.
When he throws the batarang at him, he catches it. Fuck.
But even then,
but it's slow motion in the Speed Force.
I like how Hunter can't partake in this conversation because it doesn't.
Yeah, as a I will get my Canadian license taken away. There's a door behind me, and it'll be kicked down, and like the Canadian police.
Kick down? No, they'll knock, offer you some tendies, and then come in and then kick down.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I have to answer though.
Here's a parting gift, eh? We got you a double, eh?
One thing, okay, off topic for a second. One idea.
Oh, here we go.
You guys can let me know if you want to try this idea or not. Doesn't have to be this episode, obviously, but maybe we'll have listeners come in. I was thinking
Timmy's trivia.
It might be an even better idea. I was thinking to involve Timmy's, if at the start of the episode you guys order my Timmy's and I order it from like Dishes or DoorDash. I don't know if you guys have it in those countries. Yes. And then you guys choose what I get, and then I like 30-40 minutes into the episode I would go get my Timmy's.
That sounds terrific. Do that for next week.
I think
order you like 4 double doubles.
I'm pretty sure this is just an excuse for Hunter to get Timmy's.
Yeah, right.
It is, but I think it'd be funny
after like what last week or 2 weeks episode when he went to go to Timmy's like right after we finished recording, he was like, "Wait a second, what if I could do this during the show?"
I thought it was the day while getting my Timmy's actually.
Oh my god.
But yeah, like we'd be like, so the latest Flash issue were featured. Oh, hold on, my Timmy's is here.
My Timmy's is here. Oh my god!
Can we have, like, a musical introduction of Timmy's time.
You guys need to get sponsored. Can you imagine that? If it's like instead of recording an ad just halfway through, you're like, and here are my Timmy's. I've got 2 double doubles, some Timbits. Brought to you by Tim Hortons.
Well, I actually looked it up, and they sponsor like hockey leagues and things like that.
Of course,
you guys are on that level. Yeah.
I don't know how you actually get the sponsorship unless they actually notice you. So
I'm pretty sure they reach out to you. If anybody listening works for Tim Hortons, just
oh my god, that would be incredible.
That'd be awesome.
Wait, no, JD, you've got to ask them properly. Hey, if you work at Timmy's, eh? Can you get a sponsored?
Can you get through the 3 feet of snow in the driveway, eh?
Hey, don't park in a puddle, hey?
Yeah.
Try, get a bike, Hunter.
Get a bike.
It's snowing right now. Actually, I have a window in front of me. But yeah, we'll maybe do that next week. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that to get all my double doubles. No animation news this week, no video game news this week, but a ton of comic news. So the DC solicitations for March aren't officially here yet, but we are getting a lot of news in general. Usually they'll
probably be out tomorrow. It's usually the second Friday or third Friday, whatever.
Well, today for people listening. So bear with us. We don't have the solicitations in front of us. We just have what was announced through writers and artists being like, this is what I'm going to be working on, because they don't want to wait for the solicitations. We'll start off by saying this is the end of DC Future State. So DC Future State will just be January to February. After that, it seems like they're not even going forward with a lot of ideas. So that's kind of disappointing. But we'll start off with the first one being Batman Urban Legends, which will be the third I guess it's more of a mini-series Bat title, right next to Batman Detective Comics, featuring stories about Batman and Red Hood expanding the Bat family, written by Daredevil writer Chip Zdarsky.
Yeah.
So if you told me that we were getting a third Bat book, I would have been like, why? But it's
Yeah,
Chip.
exactly.
So
And it's drawn by Eddie Barrows, who did Speed
Oh,
Metal.
yes,
So not only is it
yes.
gonna read beautifully, it is also gonna look beautiful.
sorry, what did Eddie Barrows do?
Speed
Speed
Metal,
Metal.
he drew Speed Metal.
Oh.
Yeah, he's gonna be drawing
Oh.
this book for Chip. So now I said in the chat that my dream like Nightwing team would have been Chip Zdarsky and Eddie Barrows, but I will take it on a Bat book because that means he can
I mean,
fight Nightwing.
considering how like front and center Dick is again, he'll probably be in that series. I imagine.
I would love that because
Probably like a team up issue. It'll be like
I think
Red
Chip
Hood,
could
Batman,
be
and
a
Nightwing.
great Nightwing writer. Now, granted, we just got a great Nightwing announcement that has me excited, but
Yes.
I think that I think this book's gonna be great. I will 100% be reading this book because pretty much anything that has Chip Zdarsky's name on it, I will read.
Yeah, pretty much at this point. He's such
Pretty
a good
much.
writer. Like you said, Nightwing also got a new writer being Tom Taylor. So he wrote the Injustice comics. He wrote the recent DC's comics, the Zombies versus DC Universe stuff. And he did the recent Suicide Squad run, which was short but really well praised.
And he's an Aussie boy.
He's an Aussie too, so
Yeah, he grew up an
it's,
hour and a half away from where I live.
go find him.
It's gonna
No.
be it's also gonna be drawn by Bruno Redondo, who did the art for Tom Taylor on Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
It's
great.
Very good.
very pretty.
That's
the cover,
good.
The cover they released, I don't know if you guys saw it. Very
Oh, with
beautiful.
the city.
The city
well,
on
that
the
one,
chest,
the city,
yeah.
but also the cover. It was like a blue Nightwing cover, like with this suit. I don't know. It's
Yeah, and he had like a blue city where the suit, where the blue part of the suit would
But
be.
I'm saying, do you also saw like the long shot of the city where it was?
Oh
like,
yeah, him jumping off the crane.
So it looks great already. I will be picking this up. I cannot wait. I haven't read Nightwing since the Rick Grayson stuff pretty much started. So
Same, yeah. My last Nightwing issue was issue 60 for Rebirth, which was yeah.
That was 17 issues ago, I think.
Yeah, I thought Rick Grayson would be like one arc, and then I read.
No,
I think,
it's
I,
like
think
2
I read
years.
3 Rick Grayson arcs, and I'm like, okay.
That's so absurd that 3 Rick Grayson arcs exist.
I read like
More than
I
that
read like
exist.
Yeah, I read like 2 or 3 issues of the Rick Grayson, and I'm like, oh, this is still happening. All right, wake me up when September ends.
Because
And then,
all the
it
solicitations
just never happened.
All the solicitations will be like a person from Dick Grayson's past emerging,
Yeah.
and then the variant cover will be like Nightwing jumping off a roof. I'm like, Nightwing's back.
Yeah,
Never
no.
was. So yeah, I'm so glad to jump back into it. I actually is one of the few people that believe that Nightwing Rebirth, like the first few arcs, were like almost perfect. I really like the stuff with
my
Raptor.
feeling on Nightwing Rebirth is I think Tim Seeley did a pretty good job.
He did a great job.
I mean, theoretically, it's probably like the 4th best Nightwing run ever. First,
Top
Dixon,
Dixon.
Chuck Dixon.
Okay.
Second, Devin Grayson.
Okay.
Third, Pete
Tim
Tomasi. 4th, Tim Seeley.
I like-
5th, Kyle Higgins.
I like Tomasi's run, but I actually think I prefer Seeley. I thought they gave Nightwing an actual like arch nemesis, which I would consider Raptor to be.
However, and I think some people will feel the same. I think that Raptor is the poor man's oh god, what's his name? I'm blanking. The villain from the Chuck Dixon run, who actually just got teased in the new Suicide Squad art. I forget what his name is though. He was in Robin Year One, but he's basically like a better version of Raptor. So I think Raptor, I don't know. I don't love the Nightwing stuff that's like the Court of Owls is every reason why Dick Grayson chose to eat a sandwich today. And I'm like, okay.
Oh,
I don't
Raptor
really
doesn't
care.
Raptor doesn't.
No. I'm saying like
yeah.
with the further like that's my biggest drawback with all the modern Nightwing comics is that like everything needs to be tied to the Court of Owls, which at first I was like, oh, that's interesting, but then they just kept going with it, and I'm like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah,
it would be like every decision in Dick's life was like, the Court of Owls did this, and it's like, who cares?
Watch Tom
Anyway,
Taylor's first arc is
Titans,
gonna be
Titans season 2 is the best Dick Grayson content.
I mean, for live action, I guess.
No,
But
no,
that's
come
not
on.
saying much.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
what was the competition? Chris O'Donnell and Batman Forever.
Was he even Dick Grayson, or was he just like new dude, or was he actually
Dick Grayson? And he actually wears a Nightwing suit, even though he's still called Robin. But he brings up the name. He's like, he's like, what kind of name am I going to be taking on? Nightwing. And then it's like,
Oh
he said
my
it.
God. They did the
That
whole
is
what
so
are we, some kind of
funny.
Suicide Squad?
Yeah. But like that's the end of, Fantastic Four 2015, where he's like, I said it's fantastic. But like, where did he pull Nightwing from to be like, what are you gonna call me, Nightwing? And then Batman's just like, yeah, that's a really specific and good name. Where did you come up with that?
I mean, Nightwing's, which like it's like something that an edgy 13-year-old would call a bat.
Did you guys watch the
Nightwing.
did you guys watch the Ismahawk Nightwing series that was on YouTube like 6-7 years ago?
Don't think so.
This guy named
Shaking my head.
I'm probably saying his name wrong, but on YouTube, this guy named Ismahawk made like a Nightwing fan series, but it was actually like pretty well budgeted and it was actually pretty good writing. And I just thought the one thing that was really cheesy is the way he gets his Nightwing logo is Jason Todd is making batarangs and he messes one up and it becomes the Nightwing logo and he's like, oh, I guess I gotta throw this one out. And the Nightwing's like, I'll hold on to this one.
He's like, hold up, that's a good one.
It's a good logo.
But it's actually a very good series. If you've never seen it, just look up Ismahawk Nightwing on YouTube. It's like 5 or 6 episodes. It's actually very well made. So
Okay. Yeah. We'll have to look into it.
but anyway, I will be reading this Nightwing title. I'm very excited about it. And Tom Taylor said, hint, Batgirl. So Babs and Dick, yeah.
Hints Batgirl, but they also did a little reveal of the Bat family going forward into March recently, made by Jorge Jimenez. And Barbara Gordon's on there, but as Oracle.
Yes.
It up. She's sitting there with a laptop. So
yes.
interesting.
Barbara Gordon is better as Oracle. I will stand by that. I will die on that hill.
Next
I
bit
don't
of
think
news.
anyone's going to disagree with you, JD.
There's some Burnside fan out there who's like,
I have great memories of reading all of Burnside when I was in my first year of university, but I still maintain that like the beginning of her New 52 run by Gail Simone is really good, and I'm glad she got it, even though it came at the cost of a character whose representation meant a lot to people. Like they were just like, she can walk again, it's a chip in her back, and people were like, but I like Barbara Gordon as Oracle in the wheelchair, why are you taking that away? It was like a 30-year arc, and then it's like, she can walk again.
bada bing, bada boom, she walks.
We did
Bada
a little
bing.
thing to her spine, and she's good to go.
Was she Russian?
Who did the surgery? KG Beast?
Yeah.
I'll kill her.
I'll make her walk again. I'll do it.
He did say recently, I don't even remember what issue it was, but she did say that like the chip in her back has like run its course almost.
Oh, that's interesting.
What's that in?
JD's
Was
like
it in
celebrating. No,
Yeah.
no.
So it
JD
means-
Harper's talking about a real person here. You're just like,
Yeah. JD's like, yes, I hope she can't walk again. I'm a horrible man. JD's got a look on his face like he just got cancelled.
I'm like Hunter Zolomon. Who fits the profile? A Flash Blitz reference for my fellow nerds.
Yeah, that's oh wait, we were talking about Batgirl and you brought up the Flash. Who would have thought?
Bingo card.
Bingo card.
Next bit of news for the March solicitations is Bendis is leaving Superman officially. No longer going to be on Superman. Instead, it seems like though not.
Yeah, I just
we just got copyright strikes. It seems like
that was short enough, I think.
Yeah. It's not necessarily confirmed, but it seems like he's going to be on Justice League. He posted a teaser of a group of people that look like it could be the Justice League, though it's like very different team, like the New Avengers.
Yeah,
so the team.
There's no way that that's a tease for anything.
Yeah. So the team is Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Hawkgirl, Green Arrow, Black Canary, Naomi, like Wonder Woman's mother, Hippolyta. And Black.
Say that again.
Run
Hippolyta.
that one.
That's good. Yeah, run that one back, buddy.
And Black Adam. Though that's the team. Interesting. Also, it was.
I kind of like it.
In the Flash.
Listen, I can imagine if a hero story existed in whatever your New Avengers started, 2003, I think. If it existed back then, we would have been like, New Avengers. What the hell is this lineup? So I think that an odd lineup is not bad, and I think that Justice League comics are very easy to go stale, right? After Snyder's
Yes,
run,
God.
we saw a few different creative teams who just had nothing burgers of Justice League. So
Yeah,
to
and
change up the
also,
lineup, not a
alright, just
terrible idea.
something I noticed today. Ever since Snyder left Justice League, why has no writer used Martian Manhunter? It's kind of odd to me how they just dished him off the team. Anyways, but yeah,
A lot of people don't know how to write Martian Manhunter.
I can
like-
tell. It is odd, but yeah, new Avengers team consisted of Wolverine, Spider-Man, Luke Cage, Spider-Woman. Like that's very odd for an Avengers team. So
A lot of people have said this already, but it is odd that Green Arrow is going to be like a permanent member.
And
also,
according to the Flash solicitations, he's going to be the leader.
of the team, yeah.
Oh, what? That's
Yeah.
bizarre. Okay.
Which is strange because there's a lot of leaders on this team. There's three there's three people of royalty right here, right off the bat. With Aquaman and Black Adam and Hippolyta. Those are all
Yeah.
royalty. And also Batman is usually the leader, if not Superman. Yet Green Arrow is gonna be leading the team. Huh?
I hope it's him leading, but it's like totally different. He's like, no, you guys have run your Justice League in a completely different way, not caring about the little guy, just worrying about whatever. We need to run this differently in order to actually protect people. Like,
So,
that'd be cool.
Like Luke Cage in New Avengers.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, Bendis is writing this, yeah.
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
an issue
but-
in New Avengers.
But issue 1 is going to be like the league meets, and then Naomi's going to be like, "Hi, I'm Naomi. I'm Naomi.
Yeah.
Did you know that I'm Naomi?"
I'm
And
from
then it's going to be like
another-
end of issue 1, and then they're going to tease something really cool, and then issue 2 is going to be like, "Did I still mention that I'm Naomi? I don't know if I
Yeah.
introduced myself that room,
No.
but
We were in the multiverse for 40 issues.
Gem World was a thing."
God, I hope not. Naomi is Bendis's new character. She, for those who don't know, she was in Young Justice, which Bendis was also writing in every issue. She introduced herself at least twice. All of her lines consist of her trying to explain her powers and where she's from and why she's a new character. It was just like, okay, we got it.
Why she's a new character.
Basically, she's like, I'm from another Earth and I'm here now. My parents say I'm a superhero, but I don't know. I'm kind of new to this stuff. My name's Naomi, by the way. And they're just like, sorry, what was your name? Naomi.
Naomi. It's a great impression.
Why
Hunter.
is she on the league though? That seems that's
I don't
the
know. It's
one-
kind look.
Because she equals sales. Think about how well Naomi season 1 sold. Well enough to get a CW show or whatever thing she got.
yeah.
It's listen, Naomi is a booming stock. I don't personally get it, but I also haven't read it. But everything she's on goes to gold. It sells so well. So I
Because
totally understand
Bendis'
putting her on
name
a number
it
1 of Justice
is on
League.
it. And he
Of all the new
files.
characters that you could put on, she seems like the character that makes the most sense.
I
you
would
know
have
what I mean?
preferred Sideways. Go on.
I would prefer
Oh,
Jessica
shit,
Cruz.
Okay, yeah.
If you
Jessica
still
Cruz-
I'm look.
already got
I'm
the
just
Justice
saying,
League, though.
if it was between Naomi and Teen Lantern, I would rather Naomi.
yeah, okay, yeah, that's fair.
I'm Teen Lantern. Did you know I hacked a battery? I'm
Yeah.
Teen Lantern, and I hacked a battery.
Oh my god.
I'm the same way there. I feel like Naomi has way more potential than Teen Lantern. At least she's an original idea. She's not like just a legacy character that had nothing to do with the character before. Very Teen Lantern-y or even Ironheart. In this
But I hacked a battery.
yeah,
Oh, don't do that. Oh,
I hated that.
god damn. Yeah, all right.
Just
Well,
in general,
I guess I'll just go fuck myself.
you enjoy the team for the most part. Green Arrow and Black Canary on the team, I'm totally for that. I like that a lot. Even Black Adam on the team, I think I'm okay with. At first, I'm like, okay, they're just doing this because The Rock is going to be playing an anti-hero, but I'm kind of okay with Black Adam in general being an anti-hero.
I think that's cool because him and Superman like butting heads over things would be really cool.
That would be cool. Aquaman on the team, thank God. I think he's one of the few superheroes out there that I want to always be a Justice League member. No Flash, no Lantern.
Yeah, there's no Flash. Yeah.
No,
It's kind of explained in the Flash
No Wonder
solicitations, though.
Yeah.
so what do you think, JD? Why no Speedster? You reading this?
This
I don't think I'm.
dovetails
I don't-
right
I
into.
I don't plan to read this title anyway. I don't know. I just the Bendis titles that I've read. I really liked his Man of Steel, and I really liked his Superman up to 18, and I actually liked his action for a while. Was not a fan of Young Justice, and
No.
I heard Legion's not that great. So his team books just don't seem to be hitting in DC. Now, obviously, I hope it's going to be like New Avengers, but until I see results and progress, I'll wait on that one.
Okay, fair enough.
So I don't see myself at least reading the first arc.
What about you, Harper?
No, I don't give a shit.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Me
Couldn't-
giving like a full explanation.
Yeah,
Harper?
no, don't care. Do not care. Look, I might read like the first issue just to check it out, and if I hear something cool, I might pick it up. But Justice League books just don't do anything for. Like, I didn't even make it through all of Scott Snyder's. I just didn't care. Like, it just does nothing for me.
Are you an Avengers fan, like comic fan?
No, I'm not really a team kind of guy. Like, I've read a lot of Titans. I've read all of Justice League Dark. I've read some Avengers. I've read everything kind of modern Justice League except for, newer stuff and the first Rebirth title.
Right.
The one that no one really spoke about.
Right.
I just don't. Yeah, just never really done anything for me. Like, I don't know. I like the idea of kind of a trio sort of book. Like, if you have, Red Hood, I like that idea. Even though the series means nothing to me, but team books, yeah, just I don't know. But you guys know that I'm the kind of guy who like reads a book for a specific character. So like with Scott Snyder's JL, I was like, oh, cool, Barry. And then Scott Snyder wrote Barry the worst
You think I
anyone's
could pull
written
off that
Barry.
long hair? I think I could pull it off.
Dude, and I that was legitimately the moment that I stopped reading that series. I was like, I don't have to do this anymore. I wasn't on a hero story then, so I'm like, I don't have to.
I like when Scott Snyder's Barry meets Jay Garrick, and even though in Joshua Williamson's run, like he's known Jay since like he read Jay's comics as a kid. When he sees him, he's in Justice League. He's like, "Who are you?"
He's like, "Who are you?"
Like, Mark Hamill. They're the Mark Hamill just came out.
Mark Hamill.
Yeah, no. Did you read the Fifth Dimension arc by Snyder?
Is that the one where he fights white and gold Superman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Because I think that's like one of my favorite Justice League stories in general. I didn't really like Snyder's run.
I got nothing for you, man. I'm going to say this
if you liked it. Man.
I'm going to say this really sincerely, and I apologize to that one dude who's listening. I don't give a fuck about Justice League.
I need more freaking team up comic book fans in here. Hold on.
Anytime you guys talk about it, I'm like, skip 30 seconds. No, that's not true.
Listen. JLA 97 is one of my favorite books of all time. Possibly one of my.
Is that the Mark Waid run?
Yeah, well, Grant Morrison and
Morrison, yeah. I've read some of that. Yeah, I've read some
Tower
of that.
Babel was, Wade's thing.
That's Kyle and Wally and all that.
And yeah, it's a fantastic team, and it was a good rebirth for Justice League. A lot of people are a fan of JLI, the International with Booster Gold. And, personally, never really did anything for me, but it's an interesting team. And I really like New 52 Justice League just because Jeff is
that's a good run.
Writer. He's just a good writer. But yeah,
apart from Dark Side War, that really lost it at the end. I think.
Oh my god!
Who likes it?
I've just been kicked out of a hero story.
I'm joking. It's a joke.
Oh my god! I need more team up fans in here.
You can see the physical pain developing on his face.
To me, I think DC would be best off if they just did like a Brave and the Bold book as opposed to a Justice League book, where you just get two random team ups, kind of like a Marvel, like what's it called, 2-in-1 or something like that. Marvel team, I don't know. They have like a book where two people team up. DC should do that with Brave and Bold and just make it like two different characters every week. So like one week you have like Flash and Nightwing, and then another week you have like Green Lantern and Black Canary. Like you just keep mixing it up with like random shuffled characters and just see who bounces off each other well. And then the characters that do work well, you use them again. Like it would be so cool. I think they had a Brave and the Bold book right before the New 52 started. I remember one issue had the Flash teaming up with the Doom Patrol, and it was such a cool concept because like in what other dimension would Flash team up with the Doom Patrol?
Okay,
that happened in Justice League.
Hold up real quick.
Okay,
I got a one team up fan, I think. Hey Tyler, can you just can you talk about your thoughts on the new Bendis Justice League lineup real quick?
Oh, I knew you were going to call me for this. So basically, I was thinking the other day when they released the image, like for me at least, the Justice League as a roster and as a concept have gotten pretty stale. Like, they give you the Odyssey, Justice League Odyssey, they give you Justice League Dark, but the main Justice League team is just always Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Green Lantern, blah, blah, blah. And I always thought that like, I always go back to the Avengers, but the Avengers can be anyone. So why can't the Justice League just be anybody? And so I feel, throw people on the Justice League. Who gives a fuck? Just put anybody on there and see how they evolve as characters. Because, like, Deadpool doesn't belong in the Avengers, but that's part of the reason he's there, you know?
Okay. So yeah,
that's my thoughts.
you're gonna be getting it though. Like you're looking forward to it.
Probably, yeah. I mean, it's a Bendis team book. I mean, I didn't like Young Justice all that much, but I trust him with this. I hope.
Okay.
I hope.
Okay. We have a similar opinion. Harper and JD, they're not really excited for it. Okay. Well, thanks for your input. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, sorry, I had to call.
I honestly hate that works so well.
It does, yeah. We could like call on people. So I guess for those who listening, Tyler is not a part of Hero Story. We did ask him to join, but he was like, "I'll just be the reoccurring."
Oh
guest.
no,
Yeah.
not we. I let you handle all the rejection.
I did, yeah. I was heartbroken. He's just like, "I'll just be like a guest," I guess.
In his defense, he had a very good reason for why, and I even agree with him. He was just like, "Oh man, that's a lot of stress, like a commitment where it's like every week you got to make sure you're on." And I was like, "Yeah, no, I feel the same way, but I'm just jumping into it." You know what I mean? I'm just doing it.
That being said, like, if you don't want to come on a week, don't come on a week.
Yeah, like the cool thing about the podcast, sometimes I'm like, Hunter, like my life is just crazy right now. Like I just need a week. And he's like, okay,
Yeah.
boys.
Everyone gets busy occasionally. I think the good thing with, if you're having me on permanently and you've got Tyler on reserve, is that if one person does go, there should be someone to pick it up. Unless there's
Yeah.
a week where everyone's busy and then it's like, oh, well, that sucks. But
Mhm.
yeah.
Going with
Well,
what
yeah,
Tyler
and the cool thing is we do have other people who've been on the show before. Like, Caleb has been on the show. Like when Hunter went to Australia, he filled in, full time. So we do have a lot of friends of the podcast who are kind of willing to jump in, and that's a cool thing. I like that, having that ability.
Exactly. So going off of what Tyler was saying, though, it is cool that you just throw these random characters together to make a team. In the end, they're superheroes. Why would they not be working with other superheroes? If Superman flies by to stop like this huge event, and you're there sitting there with powers, you may as well join him and introduce yourself.
Well, that's
to Naomi.
why. That's like the thing with Black Adam is I think that's cool because him interacting with the heroes is more interesting than seeing the same people that I've seen for ages interact. Like I've already got runs that I can point to and I go, that's how such and such interacts with such and such. And like with team books, because you're not delving in quite as deep character wise, there's only to a point where you're like, yeah, I get how they work. So it is interesting to show these people. That's why I hope with Green Arrow, he literally is like questioning them all the time. Instead of like, you don't want Oliver to be this compliant member of the team who's like, yes, we are the Justice League and we're always right. You want him to be the guy who's questioning how they do things.
Yeah,
and that's a really cool dynamic.
Go to the middle class too, as well. Don't just go to this like, oh, meteor's falling. Let's send Superman to stop that, while the rest of us can go maybe help people in general. Help people.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what Luke Cage's role was in New Avengers. There's an issue where they go to like a really bad neighborhood, and the whole Avengers are there, and they just get out and they stand there. That's all they do is stand there, and they just look around and they see all these terrible things happening. And Captain America just goes and be like, "Don't do that." And they're like, "Oh, okay, we'll stop doing that." They find a school, and next to like right a block away from the school, there was like a meth lab. And Captain America's just like, oh my god, well, how have we not noticed
This is my lab.
Yeah.
Captain America.
Tony's just like, oh, don't go in there. That's fine.
Hey, Tony, we thought you didn't drink anymore. Yeah, I've thrown him onto something else.
Why is your Tony voice the same as your Mark Ruffalo voice?
All of my voices are Mark Ruffalo.
Well, they go there, and Tony and Cap, and even like characters like Wolverine, they're just like, how have you not seen this before? And Luke Cage is like, because you guys are always focused on what's out in the stars and not focused on what's down
exactly
on the ground here.
And divide too. It'd be cool for Green Arrow to be like, you don't need to send the whole league to this place. Like you've gotten so complacent with, we'll just go there and do. I did like in Scott Snyder's run that everyone was kind of jumping into different places. Like it wasn't always just the team running off to do a thing together as the team. I like the idea of the team spreading out and covering different bases. And it'd be cool if Oliver's like giving reasons for that. It's like, well, Flash, you don't need to be up there. You could be zipping around on Earth doing much more. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
You don't
Who
need.
cares? I'm not going to read it.
Maybe
Good
you
point.
will. Maybe you
Good
will.
point.
Maybe the hype.
That's the ultimate 4D chess
We'll get
move, Hunter, is I don't
more-
have to have an opinion.
We'll get more solicitations. We'll get more cover reveals, and then you'll be like, "I'm in." Maybe.
I can't wait to...
Hey, kid, I hate to break it to you, but he's not reading the title.
Is that Australian Mark Ruffalo?
It's Australian Mark Ruffalo. Oi there,
Fair
I'm
enough.
Mark Ruffalo, and I'm
Anyway,
having a light
I'm
sandwich.
excited for Hunter to tell me about each issue every
Facts,
week on the
facts.
podcast.
That's me for all of Future State.
Yeah.
I'm reading almost.
Hunter, explain.
God, my wallet can handle this.
I bet Hunter read Endless Winter this week.
I did. Yeah.
Imagine.
We'll
Hey,
get to that in a
JD,
second.
JD, did you read it?
Hell no.
Yeah, no, me
Hell
neither.
no.
I'm not an idiot. Look at him.
Can't wait to talk about it.
Imagine
Pretty quick.
having money that you earned from working a job and being like, you know what, I'm gonna spend it on Endless Winter.
Hey, I also bought a Venom trade.
Oh my god, how are you not broke?
Johnny Cates Venom is actually really solid too. Like I'm really enjoying it. Anyways, going on. Philip Kennedy will be the next writer on Superman and Action Comics following the Bendis thing. Why?
I don't like the idea of a writer writing both. I think
Both,
it's,
yeah,
I
that's
think it's
weird.
Too much power, and I think that also it can make some of the stories end up being very derivative because
Yeah.
you're coming up with the same stuff. I thought the formula for all of time basically worked. Like in Rebirth, they had Tomasi and Gleason doing their thing on Superman, and then Dan Jurgens was doing Action, and that worked because it's the same character. He was going through the same stuff, right, with all like the second Superman and all that from the New 52, but it was two different stories, right? So in Superman, I was getting the family side of Clark and the Earth side of Clark, and then in Action, I was getting kind of more of the cosmic side and Mr. Oz and all that. So I thought, that's the way to go with things. I don't think that the writers should be writing both titles.
Yeah, no, it's weird.
Cameron.
Yeah, that was a good example, JD, because I remember there was a time
Thanks,
where
dude.
on Superman they were talking about just training John to use his powers after he accidentally killed his cat.
Oh yeah.
So they're trying to tell him like it's okay. Well, you go into Action and it's Superman of China, all these characters teaming up to fight all these Superman villains in the Fortress of Solitude. And it's just big action book with Clayman on art. So it was really enjoyable. But both books were so good, but for completely different reasons.
And
Yeah, that's cool.
and I think in my opinion, the detective title, the action title, I've always felt that those should kind of be like the showcase of like all your characters because the Bat family's huge, the Superman family's pretty big. It's like the Superman title, the Batman title, that should be about the characters, but the action and detective, why not use that to kind of play around with the rest of the Bat characters or the rest?
Well,
of the
that's what was so good about like Detective in Rebirth is it
Yeah,
was
James
a lot of
Tynion-
focus.
James Tynion did want to play around with
Yeah,
like, Robin.
Tynan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
no, but that was really good. There were some stories where Batman was barely in it.
Yeah,
I like
I felt
that.
like
I
the
like
main
the fact that it was,
character, the main character of that run was basically Batwoman, which was fine. Like, it was
Batwoman,
good.
yeah.
Yeah. You had like a lot of
and
focus on
everyone's favorite character to not be Batman with Fox.
I think that for the new Superman, I'm not sure which one he's drawing, but Phil Hester is going to be doing the art. You guys are familiar with Phil Hester, right? He did the
Name a book.
Green Lantern 2001, the Kevin Smith stuff.
Oh.
God.
He kind of had like Green Arrow Quiver. That's his story.
Okay, yeah.
You may.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He has kind of like a cartoony style, and I think it works for books like Green Arrow, and I don't think it works for Superman. They posted some of his Superman art, and I just don't think his style fits like a main Superman book. I don't know. It's definitely very stylized.
Oh
and
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
kind of
you're right.
cartoony. So I
It
don't
is
know.
cartoony.
I thought that was a weird fit for Superman, but I don't know that I'm going to be reading this. I need more information.
Yeah, I'll wait for the like main solicitation.
I would say 100% I'm not reading both. So
Yeah, I think I'll pick one over the other for sure. It's difficult to write both, I feel like, too, because what if you have like a great idea and you put it on
Yeah.
Action, but then you have another idea you have to put it on Superman. You can't do both. Like the good thing about being a writer for an ongoing is when you have an idea, you can build up to that. But I feel like here you have to be writing two stories at separate times.
Like,
That's
what
okay
if you've
you're
only got one book's worth of content and then you're just like, God, I've got to stretch out, all of my creativity across 2 books
with the
and then-
same characters too.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Okay.
different if like you're writing Flash and Superman, so because then there's 2 different stories there. But yeah, let's wait and see. Flash, Jeremy Adams is gonna be writing Flash. History of the Flash. What is your thoughts?
So for some reason I had in my head that I thought they were going to be bringing Kevin Shinnick back. I thought that, you know, he had his one arc and then they were going to be like, all right, we're going to take you back after our little, future
State.
state experiment. But that did not seem to be the case. I'm not familiar with Jeremy Adams. You said it is?
Yeah.
That's right. I'm not familiar with Jeremy Adams at all, but he's going to be writing DC Future State for Black Adam and Black Racer. So, I don't know. I'm interested. The artist is going to be Brandon Peterson, who the main thing that I can remember him doing art on was he was doing the Titans covers after No Justice, when they had the weird Titans theme with like Miss Martian. He was doing the covers for that. So I actually don't know if I've seen his interiors before. I saw some people were upset about that, but I like those covers, so I think that's fine. The way they describe the book is kind of interesting because they've kind of left it a mystery of who will be carrying on the Flash mantle. Is it going to be Wally?
A mystery of the Flash.
Now, the mystery of the dude, that was actually a much better joke than your one earlier today about a foot of snow. This was actually a quality joke. You have achieved comedy.
Thank you.
No, but I think that, you know, it is interesting because the pessimist in me says, oh, well, obviously it's going to be Barry Allen. Like, you know, it's DC Comics in the modern age. What do I expect? But they talked a lot about Wally in the solicitations, and the article talked a lot about Wally West. So I don't know. This seems interesting.
Well, the cover they put up is it Wally on the cover because he has the white eye lenses.
But it looks like he has the straight belt. So I was thinking it's Barry.
Oh, was it?
But it could be Barry. But it could be Barry behind him because the cover is like a
old
Flash
man
falling, and then there's another Flash behind him, Jay, and then Bart. So I don't know who it is. But yeah, I don't know. It sounds interesting. They're talking about how Flash 768 is going to be like a jumping on point. So
yeah,
you know, they're obviously,
and it's like the redemption of Wally.
Yeah, I was about to say that, which is good.
I'm just waiting for, you know, I've been waiting for a writer who really appreciates Wally West. I think Williamson had that. Unfortunately, he just didn't get to use Wally that much in his title.
Exactly.
So, you know, I'm looking for someone who loves Wally West and then can also use him. So, I'm excited. I think that, you know, it could be interesting. And they talked about like him talking to Ollie post Roy's death, which I feel like, you know,
oh yes,
it could be interesting. You know, that's kind of probably what Flash Forward should have been. So, you know, I'm interested. The idea of it, will it be Barry? Will it be Wally? You know, like I said, the pessimist in me is like, oh, it's not a competition. Like, I know how DC is going to decide. But the optimist in me is like, well, maybe Wally can get a title.
We might.
You talking about the other week where you were like, oh, you know, as a Flash fan, we live off of crumbs. The fact that this book is talking about Wally and Barry and who's
it's Thanksgiving feast, baby.
Yeah, right. I'm like, dude, the fact that they're like, this is the redemption of Wally West. I'm like, I don't give a shit, even if it is. The fact that he's in the book is there's a cover which, you know, we'll see. But let's pretend at least there is a cover that has Barry, Jay, Wally, and Bart on it together, and they're all going to be in a series together again.
That's a dream.
That's a dream come true, man. And we're paying DC to fix their mistakes because they should have been doing that all along.
Basically, yeah.
Should have happened in 2009.
We might find out if Wally's the main character when the actual solicitations come out, probably within the next few hours of this recording.
I think he definitely is. I think they're going to try and shift it towards maybe having like co-leads or at least him. You know how you had, God, what was his name? Citizen or Commander Cold? Who was the Cold that was in Williamson's run?
Commander Cold.
Commander Cold. I think he might function in a Commander Cold sort of role where it's like, you know, Barry's the 14 pages of the book and then the other like 6 pages are dead. Yeah, exactly. And Wally will be the B story. If that's the case, I would be totally fine with that.
Listen, I've been feeding off crumbs since 2011 when he disappeared. And then I got a Thanksgiving feast in 2016 when he returned. But I was given back my crumbs when Heroes in Crisis happened. So, you know, I've been kind of shifting in my diet here. I don't know if this
you're giving back your crumbs before that when he died in Titans and then had to get the pacemaker.
Shut up, punter. Listen, I really need good Wally West content because he's a great character. He's my favorite character. there's so much to write on him, and to me there's an interesting story to be told of him rebuilding his life. The idea of the man out of time, I mean, God, I wish Mark Waid could write it, because I think he writes the man out of time so well. But the man out of time trying to rebuild a life is such an interesting story. Because
I did love that in the description it said like Wally has, decided to put the speedster life down and go be with his family. And it's like,
listen, in Flash
is Barry gonna be okay with
in
that?
Flash 247, which is the last issue of
Yeah, sure.
Wally's run, the last page is like, if I lost my powers tomorrow, all I could say is I had a good run. So, as long as I have my family, I'll always be happy. Like, I always thought that kind of concept was interesting for Wally West, that being a speedster is not his entire life, and that is a great concept. So I think if you could mix that into the man out of time, like, there's just a whole title worth of stories to be told.
Wally to me is
I
a
pray that
character
I
who-
get to write it one day, because I really just want to Wally West. But
Wally to me is a character who has that art. Like I think Barry, they've written him at this point where he's going to carry through forever because he's just going to be whatever each writer wants him to be. But Wally is this rare case where his development over his run has led it to a point where he probably should retire and live with his family, and that's the end of his character. Like, to me, Wally West is kind of a temporary character where he starts off Kid Flash and then becomes Flash, and he's like kind of a prick when he's Flash at the start, and then he
also left being Kid Flash. Remember, he retired before Crisis.
That's true. And then he meets Linda, and then he has his kids, and then it's like, where do you kind of go from there? If you've got Bart and you've got Barry, Wally seems like the one who's going to have the most natural finale where you can just write him and I'm almost like at the point where I'm like, maybe that is what you should do. Like, if you want your cardboard cutout Flash, maybe use Barry and then keep Wally having this, legacy of, we can follow him from dot point to dot point, and that's like the entire history of the Flash.
Ooh, that was a good way of saying it, like the dot point to dot point.
JD seemed thrilled by it.
Sorry,
he
I
was
just
just like this.
I just got a notification. I hate to break the news on a hero story, but a new DC character has gotten an ongoing for March that has been announced. Now it's something that we have not gotten content for this character in so many years. He is an underappreciated character, an underused character.
Hold on, don't tell us yet.
Used probably, he hasn't been used correctly in so long.
Don't tell us yet. Hold on, let us guess. Because Harper and I don't know.
Oh, God damn it. I wanted him to say it, Hunter.
Hold on, let us guess. I'm going to say, all the listeners right now who already know are like, come on.
Kyle Rayner?
Kyle Rayner?
Hunter, what's your guess?
No, that's a good one. That's a good one. If not Kyle Rayner, he's an older character. Kyle Rayner?
Original. Sorry, this just got so much more mean because now you guys actually got excited. I was just joking. It's the Joker, got an ongoing title. I was trying to make a joke that like he hasn't been used and all that. The Joker,
no!
You made it much worse than it had to be. The Joker will be getting an ongoing title written by James Tynion. Yes, the Joker will be getting an ongoing where basically it's the Joker and Jim Gordon, and Gordon's going to be on a hunt for the Joker. So
I hate you.
You guys made this way worse than it had to be because
you got so excited. You were like, this character. I
was trying to mess with you.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I get it. Look, this one here.
Hunter is in physical pain.
This one's meowing at me. For those who are watching, I have my cat here who's meowing at me because he's so upset over this news.
Loki.
Oh my God. Yeah, Loki. Oh my God. Really?
Why?
Really?
Yeah, the Joker.
Dude, you just put
I was actually hyped.
Dead stop on this. I was like, oh my God, it's gonna be the return of someone like so cool.
Kyle Rayner was like such a good guest too. I was like, oh my God, that's a good one. Kyle Rayner.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you guys made this much more painful than it had to be. I really didn't want to make it that painful.
That's not
that
even brand
caused
new
me
news.
physical
I remember reading that like a few days ago. That's not even like
it's 2 days. It's 2 days ago, but I just got a notification about it, and I was like,
oh my God! All right.
Yeah, you made that painful, more painful than it had to be.
Back to talking about Flash, or I guess that's kind of the end of it. I was just gonna say during the Flash conversation, it's crazy how Wally West goes to prison for manslaughter, and we're like, No, but then another favorite character of all three of us, Daredevil, goes to prison for manslaughter.
Yeah.
And we're all like, yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, here's the
You kinda
difference,
look like
right?
that
Here's
guy,
the
Hunter.
difference. What is it? Flash issue 40, where Wally's like dedicating it to the whole idea of nobody dies.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
Matt
the number
Murdock's the kind of guy who's like, man, this helicopter is like shooting on innocent civilians. I could just shoot it with a rocket launcher. Like,
I could end this.
yeah, I could just, yeah.
Well, he doesn't have speedster
Yeah.
powers, but yeah, that's kind of the news of the week. The last thing that I had written
Well,
down.
there's also wait. There's also going to be a little Superman title, kind of like Batman Black and White. It's going to be called Man of Steel, Superman Red and Blue. It's just kind of like another Superman anthology type series. So, yeah,
Going on with Superman, Connor Kent's confirmed to be staying on the Suicide Squad post Future State.
I don't like the idea of it,
I
but
don't
maybe it'll be
either.
okay. I don't know. They haven't really known what to do with Khan since like 2003, unfortunately.
They
so-
did. They put him on back in Young Justice, which even though it
Yeah,
was
but
written
it didn't
terribly,
get
that is
used.
a good place to put him at least. But yeah, comics of the week. We'll binge through this.
Remember, don't you guys remember that rumor of like they were going to put Wally West on the Suicide Squad?
I wonder whatever happened with that.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that
how
was
they-
nice.
I think what happened with it is that they like wanted to shift it into Flash Forward because Heroes in Crisis was like so shittily received that they're like, all right, let's maybe change this up.
Yeah,
I think that they did have an idea of it, but then the rumors were coming out way too fast. Like they were like, yeah, he might be in a relationship with Harley Quinn, and just everyone was like, no,
What? Yeah, that's wild.
yeah.
that was terrible.
The idea of
Um,
that being a thing is insanity to me.
do we want to talk about what Future State titles we've subscribed to? Because I made my subscriptions today.
Yeah, I actually do want to hear your subscriptions. And Harper, I know you haven't officially like planned anything yet, but I guess
Like I said, I'll find them on Comixology the week they come out. I'll just be like, okay, that one.
all right, yeah. Which ones are we reading, Jay?
I subscribed to Just Flash Future State. I didn't subscribe to any other ones.
Oh, that's it. Oh, jeez, I thought I knew you weren't reading much. I thought there'd be
That's
like maybe 3 or 4.
My comic store owner was like, hey, Future State's starting if you just want to update your subscriptions for us. I was like, oh, okay, no problem. So I went on the site. Mine's done all on the site, which is pretty cool. Very good site. So I go on there and I'm looking through every title and I'm like, no, I don't want to.
Damn.
Now, I will not throw away that maybe I'll be at the comic shop and they have like extras of the issues and I'll be like, oh, okay, that looks maybe all right, pick it up,
Yeah.
but
You're our floor.
as for just subscription based, just the Flash.
Okay, Harper,
Wow.
you want to go next? Or
Yeah, that I'll definitely get the Flash. Look, even though it's like, ooh, Wally West going crazy again story, it does kind of.
It's gonna be terrible, but I have to read
It's
it.
literally
No, I
Wally
kinda
West
have faith,
might
like-
be evil again. You guys are like, yeah, take my money.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like even though the knee jerk reaction to it is like, really, they're doing that again, but it could be really cool. You know what I mean? Like, I have
Yeah.
some hope for it. It's not Wally proper this time. It's a dude that's possessed, which is like, oh well.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take it. If it's cool, it's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe Justice League, just because the Justice League Dark are gonna be in it. And
Okay,
that's
fair.
like, what else is? I don't even know what else.
Okay,
there is. What
I'll
else is-
I'll go through my list real quick. I got you a hero story, listeners. The
Oh, here
next
we go.
Batman, The Flash,
Oh,
Superman of Metropolis.
Wait, this is
What-
the list of everything you're reading, or is this
Yes,
list of
this
titles?
is a list of everything I'm reading.
Okay, go
I
on,
already
go on.
subscribed to these. Wonder Woman, Dark Detective, Green Lantern, Justice League,
Dark Detective. Yeah.
Robin Eternal, Superman and Wonder Woman, Teen Titans,
Oh my God.
Immortal Wonder Woman, Nightwing, Aquaman, Shazam, and yeah, that's it.
14 titles
Yeah,
compared to my one.
I
Wait, are
am
you getting all of those?
6. No,
Wait,
I'm.
You didn't
I'm
mention
skipping-
Red Hood by Williamson. Is that
That's going to
also-
be in one of the Bat titles here.
Oh,
For
okay.
mini story. I am not reading 9 of them.
Oh, okay.
So the
That's-
ones I'm
Whew.
not reading that I'm 100%, I might pick up at the shop, but I doubt it. The ones that I'm not reading, have no interest in. Harley Quinn, Swamp Thing,
Yeah.
Superwoman, Legion of the Superheroes, Suicide Squad, Imperious, Lex, Batman, Superman, Superman World of War, Catwoman. Yeah. So those ones I don't really have an interest in. For the rest, I'm kind of interested. Some of them I'm really nervous about, like Teen Titans, but I'm still gonna read it.
yeah.
I think the art looks good, and I feel like I'll still find enjoyment to it, at least seeing where the Titans will be moving forward. But yeah, those are my future state titles. I will be reviewing all of that on a Hero Story, and you guys will have to listen to it.
Yeah. Can't wait. As an avid listener of the podcast for well over a year, yippee.
I mean, I'll be paying for it too, so yay. I enjoy comic books, so I'm kind of looking forward.
Hey, I enjoy comic
I'm
books.
pretty sure Tyler is also reading a lot of future state titles, so he'll have to come on a lot. Like I said earlier, he's going to be like a rotating guest on every so often. So,
Yep.
Tyler, I know you're listening. Please come on during the future state episodes because I need you. I need you here.
I don't think he's listening. I think he got
I
as
also
far
think
as.
Caleb is going to be reading a lot of them.
Comic Savior. We'll have to have him back on.
Yeah, I think at least I haven't seen him talk about him too much, but I think he is.
He replaced me when I was in your home island, eh?
Damn, how did I become a permanent member before Caleb did? What happened there?
We'll have to have Caleb back
Caleb's
on.
in college, which is very busy.
Fair enough.
What are you guys' pick of the week and cover of the week?
Oh
So
my
my
God.
comic shop. See, New York got a foot of snow.
Here we
And
go.
To you Canadians, a foot of snow is like nothing. That's like a regular Wednesday. That's like a regular Wednesday for Hunter. In New York,
It's not
state
even
of
a regular
emergency.
Wednesday. We get way more than that daily. Sorry, go on.
Schools were closed. Schools, businesses, they were all closed. My gym was closed this morning. It's a foot of snow is just nothing to mess around with in New York. We don't like snow. But
We don't talk to snow here.
hey, we don't talk about it, huh? The snow, it turns yellow when the dog
Get it out of here.
gotta go. But anyway, basically, I had the option to go to my comic shop on Wednesday because I wasn't working, and they opened at 3:00, and it wasn't supposed to start snowing until 6. So I was like, all right, I'll go at 3:00, and then it was all of a sudden 6:00, and I'm like, hey, it's starting to snow, and I'm like, oh no, I never went to the comic shop, and I'm like, damn it. So I'm like, all right, hopefully it's not going to snow that much, and I can go tomorrow. But then it snowed a lot overnight, giving us 1 foot of snow, which again, to you Canadians is nothing, but to us New Yorkers, not a big fan. So I didn't get to go to my comic shop yesterday or today, meaning I had to read the comics online. I know, disgusting online. Yuck.
I mean,
but
we have Harper here who does that.
Yeah, like come on, online superiority.
I mean,
what's great? I said this to Hunter. I was like, when Daredevil 26 comes out, I'm going to buy it on Comixology the minute it drops, and Hunter won't read it for like 3 days.
2 days. Okay.
And then he complained, 2 days, who gives a shit? And then you complain that I spoiled it for you. Crybaby.
Yeah. Digital 25. But look,
so anyway, the moral
issue.
The moral of my story.
That's nice.
Harper wishes.
It's a good cover.
Listen. For me, I really like the Rorschach cover because I didn't know it, so, but I really did like the Rorschach cover. I thought it looked very cool. Like the cover's been the strongest part of the series. As for pick of the week, I don't know. I didn't really enjoy the comics that much this week. Gonna be honest.
Oh, none. Okay.
Ooh.
Granted, I don't read Iron Man, which I'm sure was very good.
Well, yeah, my pick of the week.
That's not my pick.
Is Rorschach for me. My pick of the week is Rorschach.
Oh.
But my cover of the week, it's a comic I keep saying I'll drop every week, but Captain America number 26. But look at that cover.
Oh my God.
Look at that cover.
Because
I see this.
Why do you make bad finance? If you canceled comics like when they should have like past due, you could have had 3 CGC comics by Jeff Johns.
But
you're the only person buying that run anymore.
I am.
Ta-Nehisi Coates Ta-Nehisi Coates' mom doesn't even read the run.
Okay, well, the issue wasn't good. I didn't enjoy it at all, actually. I kind of skipped it. But the cover.
Yeah, it's Alex Ross. But you know what I can do? I can go on Google right now and look up Alex Ross Captain America and enjoy the same thing that you're enjoying.
It's Captain America fighting Red Hulk. That's cool.
Oh.
You are like what Marvel Comics preys on. They're like, wait a second. If we put an Alex Ross cover on a crappy book, someone will buy it.
Yeah,
Hey, Hunter,
Marvel
it's me, Stan Lee. Thanks for buying my book, buddy. Excelsior. Nuff said.
It's you, Harper.
Oh, it's that photo of when I met you. I remember that.
Oh my God.
Nuff said.
Marvel Comics right now, they're on this. They're looking at the sales for Captain America. It's like, man, currently Coates is not selling well in Captain America, but look, there's that one guy in Alberta, Canada. He's buying every single issue the day it releases. We gotta keep making it for that guy.
We gotta keep printing it, man.
Man, if
There we
Alex
go.
Ross wasn't on this book, I wouldn't buy it. Imagine this CG seed. Okay, nothing happens in this issue, but imagine CG.
It's like you can copy it from the internet and just print it out, man. Oh my god. Anyway, my pick and cover, I'm gonna say, oh, there it goes. It just fell off. My cover, I think, is Iron Man, but my pick, I think, is Batman.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that. Like,
We'll get into it, but goddamn.
you want to start with that?
Sure, we'll start with Batman. JD, did you read Batman?
I did.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna have some differing opinions here because I dead
I mean,
set read this.
It's not that it's not that I hated every comic this week. I mean, there were some that were fine.
That's what it
It's
sounded
just
like.
I don't know. To
Yeah.
me, nothing, and maybe it's because I had to read it online and I was just mad. But
Oh my
just
god!
nothing stuck out.
I
to
don't
me.
go to
I
the
don't know.
cinema. I don't read online.
I've been in a weird state with comics lately, where like during COVID, right before
future
COVID, I was
state.
starting to get fatigued. I was starting to get fatigued with comics. But then COVID hit
Mm.
and comics weren't coming out, and I was like, "Wow, I really miss comics." And then I got reunited, and it was
Yeah,
great.
You're like,
Reunited.
time to read
and
all
it
of Impulse
feels
again.
So good. Yes, I read all of Impulse.
oh, damn.
Anyway, so then I was like, wow, my comic fatigue is gone. Recently, I've been hit with a wave of comic fatigue, and maybe it's just like something with me personally. I don't know, because I haven't even been motivated to post on History of the Flash either.
No,
Like,
I
I
have
went
that
from-
I have that at the moment as well.
I went from like a post every day, 2 posts a day, even to like I posted twice this month, and it's already the 17th. So
Oh damn! I didn't realize it
Yeah.
was that bad. Well,
Yeah.
can I be your therapist for a second and help you out?
please do.
Your comic therapist. I've been through this state before. Kind of when COVID happened and comics were like slowing down and then they were canceled for a bit. I was like, all right, I was the same position as you. I was like a little bit of a break and then we'll jump back into it. But we still recorded a hero story during COVID too.
We did.
We still just talked about old comics and stuff like that, and it was a good time. Comics came back and it was all hype and everything. I got back into it before comics got back, and the reason was from reading older runs. I did a
Well,
Q&A.
that's what I got to do.
Yeah.
100%. I got to do that. 100% because I have so many trades, and like I just bought a bunch of new trades because I'm like I need the motivation to like go read something, even if it's a reread. To me, rereading a good book is like a warm hug, right? Like it's just something that makes you just feel good
Yeah, I can
inside,
imagine
and,
you don't get enough of those.
He's not wrong.
Damn.
Ladies and gentlemen of the podcast industry, he is not wrong.
Somebody
His
go
dad's
give him a
right now,
history of the
like, oh my
hug.
god.
No, I just think that and it's like same thing with like watching like a movie that you love, right? You know exactly what's going to happen, but for some reason like it's comforting, right?
Yeah.
And
Well, here's the
think
thing.
I think I need that.
Going back to Therapy Hunter here, I'll talk in a more soothing voice.
Oh
What I
god.
did is I didn't go and be like, you know what? I really like Batman. I'm going to read old Batman comics. I went on my Instagram. I did a Q&A, but I didn't say, ask me anything. I said, tell me your favorite comic books. And I got into characters that I never planned on getting into. Thor, Venom,
Thor.
No, there's another character. Hawkeye.
Jane
Hawkeye.
Foster Thor.
Hawkeye,
the other
yeah.
Venom.
Hawkeye. That's another one. And even just Avengers in general. I got into those. People were just like, read Fractions Hawkeye, read Donny Cates Venom, read Jason Aaron's Thor, read Bendis's New Avengers. I'm like, okay, so
That's
I tried
so
those
good
out.
that you're reading all of those and not reading, like literally any of the Iron Man recommendations I've given you. That's really cool. That's so dope. Yeah, great. You're reading the current series. Awesome.
Yeah,
We'll get into
That
the Iron Man book.
4-issue series.
Well, I've also had people.
Oi there, read Armor Wars or die.
Hey, the Armor Wars, mate.
I've had people recommend me Iron Man, and I want to get into him, but I also want to get into X-Men too. I've had a lot of X-Men recommendations, and don't roll your eyes, okay?
X-Men. X-Men.
Oh, Drew is shaking right now.
Oh,
Listen-
go away, Drew. No
Oh,
one
Fantastic Four. That was another one I got into during quarantine. So just in general, I didn't read. I love Batman, and I was like, I'm gonna read some old Batman comics. But instead, I decided to get into characters that I wasn't really into before. And Fraction's Hawkeye is probably in my top 3 favorite camics I've
Yeah.
ever read. New Avengers is probably my favorite team comic I've ever read. So get into these books that people love, and it changes your opinion on everything. JD, you gotta read Fraction's Hawkeye, and you gotta read.
I do. I've never read it before, so
Yeah, it is like perfect.
I think
Yeah.
I burned myself out because I read like 5 Iron Man like trades, and they were like, 20 issue trades. And then just after a while, I was like, I need a break. I need to watch something instead of reading. Like I remember I was reading the Ironmonger trade, and I got to the last issue, and my eyes were like fidgeting back and forth trying to focus. I was like, holy shit, man, I've read too much.
It's been 4 days and I haven't slept.
I'm just like,
I can't sleep now. I like how you said taking a break. You're like, I gotta watch something as you go. I gotta put on Pull and Die Rescue. I can't handle this.
I think it's just the focus of reading. I was just like, I need to stop reading. Like, how much do we spend on our phones every day reading text digitally? You know what I mean? And I'm like, I need to like not read something.
Well, you
focusing on letters.
Yeah, because you read the traits physically, right?
No, I read I think 4 out of 5 digitally.
Oh,
even though I have them physically.
Okay, why do you prefer, like, if you had the option of physical,
building up libraries? Either way.
if you had the option of owning physical or digital, what would you pick?
Oh,
And Mark Ruffalo
damn.
came out there.
Oh my god. Hey guys, it's me, Stanley. That's a really tough question, because if I wanted to just buy something right now to read it right now, I would go on Comixology.
Yeah, obviously.
And get it for like $20 versus 70 or something.
What if your local comic store was like a 5-minute walk?
Oh god, yeah. Well, it depends on their collection, because I have a local comic book store here that doesn't have a single Iron Man or Daredevil trade whatsoever.
Okay, I'm talking like comics of the week here.
Oh,
and they get them.
Yeah, probably. If it was a 5-minute walk, I would buy every single issue every week physically. But here's the thing: I much prefer single issues reading wise over trades. Like, I love reading single issues because I feel like I can be malleable and not have to worry about bending anything. But sometimes if I'm reading a thick trade, I'm like really delicate with it because I'm like, oh god,
I'm so afraid to open my Invincible trade.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, like, how do you even read that?
It's a
like, how do you
dictionary.
read the parts that are in the corner of the spine? You're like,
yeah, I'm afraid there's gonna be a splash page. I'm like, well, I don't know what's happening there.
Yeah, you just miss like 10% of it from either side, and it's like in the middle. So yeah, it's not that I like hate physical. I like physical. Like, I read all of Grant Morrison's Flash in that one trade just because I like that.
Mhm.
But when it comes to reading physical, I think single issues are so good just because they're like, you just flip through and not worry. It's 2 staples either side, and it's 20 pages.
Yeah, 22 usually.
Anyway,
but yeah,
yes.
Batman.
Sorry. Batman's good.
Yeah. I have
That's
one
about all
problem
my
with this.
analysis.
I have one problem with it, but let's hear you praise it first.
Oh, I just thought, here's the thing. I didn't even realize it was the end of the arc. Like, I read last issue and I was like, oh, this is good. I'm enjoying this. And then this was like the finale of this story. I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Batman breaks out of the restraints and he throws the Batarang at Clown Hunter to stop him from killing Harley Quinn. And I was like, that's pretty expected, like, of a superhero thing to be like, use all my brute strength to get out of this situation. And then they flip it on its head and they have Harley Quinn just talk to this guy and be like, look, it's like, what, 4 pages of Harley Quinn just being like, I was weak and the Joker used that to manipulate me and I wanted to feel strong. And like, she's basically talking about how she's an abuse victim. And that's not brought up, I don't think, enough. Like, if you ask the general public about Harley Quinn, they're just like, oh my God, Harley Quinn and the Joker, they're so cute. And it's like, shut up. What are you talking about? In this, they're really giving Harley some content and being like, she is a damaged person. And she has a line where she's like, all I'm trying to do now is to save as many people as I hurt back in the day. And I was like, damn, that's real. And then, you get to the final confrontation between Bruce and Ghostmaker, and it's a very similar, circumstance where it feels like things are changing. And my problem with, Joker War was that it felt like nothing changed. And now this is Bruce being like, I'm getting older and this city is getting younger, and I need people to rely on to help me with this. And that's, why he extends the invitation to Ghostmaker to join the Bat family, basically. And I'm like, that is so cool to basically, instead of just, we're going to fight for a bit and then one of us is going to win, I'm going to lock you away. I'll see you next time, Ghostmaker. It's like they're working together now on a Gotham because Bruce is acknowledging that it is growing beyond him. I'm like, to me, that is such great writing progressively, like for the character, where it's not just, and we're fighting another villain again and nothing's really changing. It's Bruce admitting that he needs help. And he even says, he's like, ever since Alfred left, I've needed someone to be, a harsh critic on me and tell me the things I'm doing wrong. And I was like, it felt like that was the first time that I was like, oh, Alfred's death actually means something to Bruce's character. Like it's part of his growth, part of his development as a character. And I feel like we're going to get there to accept that Future State is interrupting it for 3 months?
2 months, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm like, I wouldn't have called that the story was going to end with Ghostmaker. I'm sure some people are going to say, I saw that coming from the beginning. Good for you. But I didn't. I was just like, that is so cool of a direction to take that. And I don't know, it kind of reminded me of, it's like a better, not that I disliked this, but it was like a better version of Hunter Zolomon turning good in Williamson's run, where it's a character that you don't expect to do it and then has that turn and it kind of means something because you're like, damn, I wasn't expecting that. Except this is a brand new character. And I'm like, the fact that I was invested at all in these two dudes that are so similar but also so different finally coming together, and Bruce being like, I don't care what you do differently as long as you don't kill in my city. I was like, that's such a, I don't know, so unique. But yeah.
That is cool.
That's my rant on Batman.
Honestly, my one problem with it, which I feel like you won't really hate, it was like,
here we go.
Ghostmaker's like, Clown Hunter is gonna die. And you know who else is gonna die? Harley Quinn. And I'm gonna kill you too. And he like stabs Bruce in the stomach. And then like 2 pages later, he's like, race you to the next crime. Run off together.
Well, and that was my problem with it too. It's like, I just didn't feel like we got that reason why he would agree to like be with Bruce.
Yeah,
it felt a little like forced, like Tinian knew it was
he had his ending in mind, and yeah,
like he had the ending in mind, and it's kind of just like, oh, I only had a few pages to get to it. Well, those things are good.
Yeah, that's a good point. It just felt a little rushed at the end there.
Like it gives me the feelings of like a Silver Age comic where it's kind of just like, we need the character to get to be the good guy at the end, so here he is, like as the good guy, and it's just like, wait, he didn't really have a reason to do it. I don't know.
Yeah,
it wasn't too far into it, but
I wasn't even thinking. I was too caught up in how cool I thought that the alliance was. That it is quick. I guess I just saw it as him, because he says to Bruce, he's like, oh, what, you think her saying that's going to change anything? Like, I can just hunt that kid down and, stop him without a single thought. And Batman's like, I know you can. And that's not the point. Is I don't want to fight. I don't want you to chase him down. I just want you to understand. And I was like, I don't know. Maybe I don't read enough Batman, and that's why I found this cool, because I'm like, oh, this is different. But
it is different, though. It is different.
Yeah,
so
it just cool too. Felt impactful. I was like, oh, damn. It actually made me want to read Batman. And this arc to me was so much better than Joker War.
Oh, 100%.
Like a mile.
It's actually interesting. And it's good that Tynion has brought in so many of these new characters in. And it feels like Ghostmaker is the one that he's actually going to move forward with, besides Punchline. Yeah. I feel like Punchline will return. But Ghostmaker feels like a character that is actually going to be used for the future.
But like Harley, the writing for Harley in this is just so good. And it disappoints me because I'm like, why can't Harley be written this well all of the time?
It's good because we haven't seen this before. It's just DC suddenly is like, oh, Harley is a good guy now. All right.
Yeah,
but now it feels like they're developing her into a good guy. Rather
like even when Clown Hunter's like, oh, you're trying to analyze me, and she was like, well, that was my job, and he's like, oh, you did a great job of that, clearly. And she was like, no, you don't understand. Like, I was weak, and this person, hurt me and controlled me basically. And I was like, this is deep. R/I'm 13 and this is deep.
I give it honestly a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I would agree. It was a 9 for me for sure.
What about you, Shooty?
Like
a
5 or
7.
6. I don't know. I 5 or 6. I haven't really found myself just caring about Tinian's Batman like even since it started. I don't know. I guess because I always had like the temporary feel in my head, so it's kind of just like I haven't felt myself being attached. So
Fair enough. Superman, Bendis's last issue.
Oh my
Holy
god.
wall of text. I felt
Dude,
like this took me so long to read.
That is the only like comment I have on this issue is when I flipped it's like the second page and it's just two
Speech bubble.
walls of black.
Which
I looked
is-
at it
which
and I
has
went,
been-
"Oh my god!"
It's been kind of a constant trouble of Bendis' Superman run, in my opinion, that it's very dialogue heavy.
Mhm.
But it's like I know Bendis has always done this, but this is the first time in my life, this and Young Justice, where I've been like, "Oh, I hate this."
Yeah, you're actually noticing it here.
Yeah, like I've read so many Bendis books that I love, but I've never like if you had have asked me, I would have been like, oh yeah, Bendis is one of the easiest to read like writers ever. Like you just jump in and it's snappy and it's quick and you kind of get in the rhythm of it. And then these, I'm like, what is happening?
I usually, that's a good point. For Bendis's past work, I've only ever noticed it when it made sense. When Matt Murdock's identity is revealed and he goes outside his home and there's just press everywhere, then it's a wall
Yeah.
of speech. That makes sense because there's so many people there.
Yeah.
But this is two people having a conversation. It's just
Yeah.
like, okay, we don't need that much Bendis.
I don't know why. Like, it's like he's making, you know how Tom Thing, yeah, Tom,
It's
you know how
Glover and Tom West.
I'm Tom Thing. You know how Tom, God damn it. You know how Tom King's thing is like, and I want you to know that I just know. Like, you know how that's like how he writes. Like Bendis's like shtick now is like, I know what I'll do. I'll write like 14 paragraphs on one page, and that'll just be one conversation. Just people going back and forth, and you're like, what? This is incomprehensible. What is this?
It's funny. A couple days ago, I was with JD in a call with our colorist Drew for Hero Story Comics. We were working on our comic together, and Drew, he's lettering a page, and he's like, "Hey JD, can you shorten this page a bit?" And JD's like, yeah, I could probably do that." And then he like shares his screen, and it's a page with I think 4 panels in it, and just so much text that's like covering the entire art, and we just burst out laughing.
Yeah, when I'm writing the script, I typically don't even think like, okay, there's a lot of art going on here, and obviously, like if it's a lot of panels, the art's not going to be that big. So I'll be like writing a lot of speech, and I'm like, damn, like I'm not actually thinking about how it's actually going to go down. So sometimes I think less can be more, unless you have like the room for the dialogue. But
Yeah.
the Bendis stuff is very dialogue heavy.
God, if I read the Price of Hero page and this Bendis-esque dialogue, I'm canceling.
It was just that one page, and we shortened it. I think you shortened it, right?
Yeah, I caught about like 3 lines of dialogue from the page that were kind of just like repeats.
Now it's only this big.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't really need it. So yeah, I ended up cutting some of the stuff. But yeah, no, it is something that I don't know. I guess I just didn't keep in mind as a writer. So it's something that I need to work on in the
It's
future.
something that Bendis doesn't keep in mind either, clearly. But yeah, it's in the end, the story just felt like it wasn't the end of an arc. It just felt like, oh, suddenly Superman gets golden armor, and then the United Planets come in, and then
The
some
ending
girl
itself is huge. Yeah, that was cute though. He's like floating with Lois. He's like, "Oh, your music, it got me through my harshest days." And it's like, I don't know, it's something.
Yeah, that was fine.
But again, I mean, look, it's in terms of finales, I guess it was better than his Young Justice.
We're Young Justice. Wait, who are you? We're
Young Justice.
That was so bad. But yeah, I mean, it didn't feel like the end to me. So it was like, all right, well, bye, Ivan Rezart. I'll miss you a lot.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah. In the end, it was just all right. Rorschach, we'll do my pick of the week real quick. This didn't feel like a superhero comic or a Rorschach comic at all. It felt like just a really good one shot.
I saw someone online say is this a Watchmen sequel or is this a Kick-Ass sequel? Because it doesn't really feel like Watchmen, and I strangely kind of felt that way myself. Like I didn't really feel like I was in the Watchmen universe. Like I know a lot of people's worry about the Rorschach series that like, oh, why are we milking Watchmen to death? But
Yeah.
I didn't really feel Watchmen-esque.
It didn't feel like
No, and I'll
Not-
be
not
honest.
that
I
way.
think I think I liked that the most. Is that I was reading this and I'm like, I mean, it's the argument against Doomsday Clock. Is a lot of people say that you could remove all the Watchmen stuff from Doomsday Clock and still have Doomsday Clock. Like it's not inherent to Watchmen, and you don't need it. But Rorschach, I'm like, at least it feels subtle. Like I'm reading it, and I'm not like, oh, this is beating me over the head with Watchmen material. It's just like its own thing.
I think,
but then the argument for that is why make it Rorschach when you could just make it.
So I think Tom King really wanted to do a political comic, but in the
Yes,
DC
yeah.
comics landscape, it doesn't really fit. And you can do it indie, but it's hard to sell like that. So I think
That's the only reason Rorschach is on there.
to me, like when he had Heroes in Crisis, he's like, hey DC, I need 3 characters because I have a story idea. I'm like, all right, you get Booster Gold, Harley Quinn, and Wally West. And he's like, okay, I can make that work. I think he came to DC with like the political thriller story, and he's like, I need a character to attach to this. Who do you got for me? And they were like, Rorschach. And he's like, yeah, that'll sell. So they made it a Rorschach thing. Like, and maybe King will reveal this one day on like an interview, but I felt like this wasn't necessarily written to be a Rorschach comic, but it's kind of merged into that.
Yeah.
Rorschach didn't even appear until the last like 3 pages or something like that.
I gotta say though, like I did and maybe it's because of the country that I'm from, but I did enjoy like the commentary on how people are so easily brainwashed by things, and like that was the point of the squid attack. But these people so thoroughly believe it that this guy's just sitting there. He was like, I was having a thought in my head, and then I realized, the squids have taken over, and then he gets his daughter to shoot him, and I'm like,
that part hit me like a truck too. I was like,
well, it's crazy because it's like it's showing how dangerous and how ill it can make people when you pair manipulation with guns and weaponry, and how like what damage that can cause is that you're going to shoot someone because they think they're being controlled by a squid
when they're not. Correct me if
Yeah,
I'm
and it's
wrong,
like-
but the squid never had mind powers, right? It was just slaughter.
well, they called it like a psychic squid or something. It was something like that. So
Yeah.
it does, but remember, it's not a real squid.
Yeah.
Not a real alien squid. It was made by Vite. So I guess they're led to. I guess it's in the TV show because this is supposed to be in the same timeline as the TV show, right?
It is.
Isn't there references to the TV show? Yeah, I think they reference Oklahoma, and in that Looking Glass, I think the reason why he wears his mask is because that material stops any
Oh,
squids
it's
from
like the
his mind.
tinfoil hat.
Yeah, it's literally like a tinfoil hat.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the first issue had a reference to Oklahoma, which is where the TV show was set. So
And the
I
TV
guess
show
they're
was
tying
set
that
in the comics universe.
yeah, so I
Not
guess
like
that
the Snyder.
timeline would go Watchmen, the comic, Watchmen TV show, and now Rorschach. And then the other timeline, I guess, would just be Watchmen and then Doomsday Clock. So there's 2 timelines.
And
'Cause you
there's
can't
There's like
the Snyder movie.
this is like
over here.
Halloween. It's like which
It's like
timeline do I
Halloween.
choose?
I'm so JD. Of course, you would bring up Halloween when I'm on the podcast, like my guilty
Well,
pleasure
Listen,
franchise.
I know you're a Carpenter Halloween fan, so
Yes, I
I
am.
try to please the people.
Technically, Doomsday Clock is canon to Watchmen. So wouldn't it be
Yeah, it's canon to Watchmen.
Watchmen,
The book.
Doomsday Clock, the show Rorschach?
No, that's what I'm saying. You cannot. There is no possible way to fit Doomsday Clock in with the TV show, mainly because of Adrian Veidt.
Correct.
So it has to be split timelines. Is that up here
Yes,
you start
it's
with
split
Watchmen,
timelines.
and then they follow 2.
It's like when
different
Doc Brown does that thing on the chalkboard in Back to the Future
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah.
Old
okay.
Biff took the book and went to young Biff.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I thought this whole book was just I got lost in it. Like when I finished, I was like, oh god, what time is it? Where am I? Kind of thing. I was so into it. It was such a simple story about this father, this terrible father, teaching his 12-year-old daughter how to kill for the most part.
Yeah,
With
and it's
with
like-
his friends. They don't kill anyone except for the father at the end, but just basically train her to shoot because that squid is up in space and we're gonna take a video of you and send it to space and he's gonna be scared and he's gonna come down and we're gonna kill him, kind of thing.
It's
and
like
he, lives in a
horrifying, even though it's like
trailer
they
and-
don't know any better. Like they've been basically, brainwashed into thinking that this squid came from outer space. And that's what he's like saying. He's like, we got to be prepared when the squids come. So it's like, he seems like a shitty guy because he's teaching his daughter, but like, you know, it's the fault of Adrian because they, you know, they wanted peace for the, knock my pop filter. They wanted peace for the world. And they, you know, it came at the cost of people like this who now believe that they're constantly, you know, under the threat of squids coming. And so it's like, you know, it's this dude where it's like, oh, that's very questionable. But at the same time, you feel bad for him because he so believes this thing that just is not true. And it's like, that's so crazy. Like, I don't know. It just, like you said, it hits you when you see him go like, you have to shoot me because I can't do it because the squids are controlling me. But there is no control. Like, it's just the power of belief that he thinks that that's happening. And it's like,
yeah, it's just like, you're gonna shoot me, you're gonna put the gun in my hand so you don't get in trouble, and then he smiles at her and then gets shot in the head.
And she like she doesn't like cry, she doesn't get upset. She just walks over to him, puts the gun in his hand, goes, "Love you, Dad," kisses him on the cheek and walks off. Like, they so believe that this is real that it just doesn't even faze them. They're like, oh yeah, I've got to shoot him in the head.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, that makes sense, Dad. It is crazy, yeah. Jeez. And then what was that ending with the girl that's with Rorschach also saying "Love you, Daddy"? I didn't understand that there.
Well, I think that's so. Yeah, okay. So that did confuse me, and I don't know if I'm missing something, but I thought that was supposed to be like, I thought the story, because he's talking about back in '85, and I'm like, okay, so this is past Watchmen. They're dealing with the squid. I was like, is that supposed to be her younger, and now the one that's with Rorschach is her older? And her kissing her dad, he's not actually there. It's just like, you know, trying to tie it all in together. Or is it just a different person? And it's like, I don't know.
The body
like,
was still there. So that's
like, I feel like I'm an idiot and I should know. Or am I just like, am I not missing something? And this is just how it was written.
Yeah.
Where you're like, what?
I was really confused. Did you
But I mean, that's like, that's the whole book too.
I don't actually think I read the end of this book. Granted, I was reading online, so I
we're just theorizing over this.
I thought Rorschach didn't even appear in this issue at all. I don't remember this.
At the end, like the last 3 pages. I don't think you had any lines.
I must not have gotten to the end. I thought it was the end.
Oops.
Okay.
No, it's good. I'm learning.
I give Rorschach like a 9. I really enjoyed it.
Probably like a 7.5 to an 8.
I was about to say 7.5 for me.
Yeah.
You would have liked it better.
Mister, I didn't even finish the issue.
Yeah.
Well, I
like me reading Endless Winter.
Oh, I guess we should do Death Metal real quick.
Oh, fuck.
I forgot that even came out. That's like the big one that came out this week.
Yeah.
If Death Metal 3 happens, I'm not reading it.
Well,
I was talking to someone like this.
Okay, yeah.
I said it's going to be called Death Metal Reunion Tour.
Oh my god, that's Snyder, stop listening to the podcast.
Greg Capullo like
wait, hold up.
You just heard that. It's I liked your post on it, Harper. I like the way you said it was like supposed to be this big endgame moment, but
yeah, you just don't feel anything. That's like, this book is geared for us to love, like DC diehards who are like, universe-ending event. Every character we care about is there, and they're facing down for like the fate of the universe. We should be like, yo, this is like the best crisis that's ever happened. And I just don't care. Like, I'm reading it, I'm like, I don't care about anything that's happening here. Like, I feel nothing, and I hate feeling absolutely nothing. Because like, I didn't include this in the post because it was getting too long. Like, draft wise, I was like, this is going to end up being like 9 slides if I talk about Heroes in Crisis. Geez. But the thing with Heroes in Crisis is I could understand what it was going for. And even though a lot of it wasn't good, me actually being able to convey how I feel about that, or learning how I feel about that, was interesting. Being like, okay, I like this. I don't like this. I see what they're going for, but that doesn't quite work. Whereas Death Metal, I literally feel nothing. Like, I would rather sit down and talk with someone over like, oh, I think it's interesting that Heroes in Crisis was trying to do this with Wally West, rather than Death Metal, where I go, as a big monster fights the big female monster, and then she explodes, and then they're all standing there, and then they're just like, hey, let's go and punch. It's like, okay, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Superman at the beginning does this whole speech where he's just like, we got this, we're going to stand together, we're going to show them our numbers. And
Yeah.
then they start to win, and then Batman Who Laughs spawns in, says like a stupid line, and Superman literally goes like, "Well, we go down together." It's like,
Yeah.
I hated that. I was like, "Yeah, we're all gonna die, everyone.
We're all gonna die. Let's
together." It's like,
die
what a
fighting.
symbol of hope. Why are you telling
Yeah.
people this? And it feels like with the whole Batman Who Laughs appearing, it feels like watching a movie on cable TV where there's commercials at random times. Like that's what it feels like to me. Like you're
That's an
enjoying it,
interesting
and then
analogy.
suddenly it cuts to like a toy. Suddenly it's like, all right, that's what the Batman Who Laughs feels like. It's just here's all these characters fighting these beings, and then suddenly the stupid character appears to say a line, and then we go back to the characters all working together, interacting. Stupid character comes back in, and it's like, if anyone wants to buy
It's your
my first
Batman
appearance
Who
of the
Laughs
Batman
action
Who Laughs-
figure right now from Hasbro.
And even then, it's like, are we just gonna ignore how Batman resurrected the regular Batman Who Laughs to join them?
Oh, that was odd. You know,
It's
my
like-
favorite thing was, and I know it was supposed to be funny, but I thought it was so funny, like just because of how dumb it was. Batman's like, "Oh, I don't feel too well. Something's wrong here." And Superman's like, "Probably because you're missing your arm." And he's like, "No, not that." And I know that was supposed to be funny, but I was just like, "What?" It's like, okay, he's so casual about it. He's like, "You're missing your arm, man." He's like, "All right."
I know that.
I got no arm.
There was the cool panels where it showed the families together. No Garth,
Except
or
for the
on-
Flash family. No
Yeah,
Flash family.
No
Is
Garth
there-
on the Aquaman family.
Is there one more issue of Metal?
I think
Yeah,
so,
that one more. Number
Like,
7's the end.
It's very odd to me. I have a feeling that it's like I genuinely would be fine with not reading Death Metal 7 and just go on my life. Like, okay. I didn't miss the ending. Okay. I missed
It's
Wally
over.
West drumming. I missed Wally West drumming in a concert. What are you gonna do?
You
Even
need that
then,
content though, JD. You need it.
You need
Do
the
I?
content. You were hoping for the Flash family picture, but
Do
instead
I?
you got Joker standing side by side with the Bat family. No Luke Fox
yeah.
in sight.
And Nightwing going, for once, I agree with the Joker.
It's like,
That's
Joker, why are you
quirky.
standing there? Why are you alive? Like, isn't
Yeah,
that the world dead? And somehow you're alive and standing next to Batman. Batman's like,
Yeah.
let's go. Some villains working with the heroes here, I understood. Ocean Master with Arthur. I thought that was fine. But where's Garth? It wasn't good. This is not good, to quote JD.
I just felt, that's the worst part about talking about this is there is nothing. Like, you just don't feel anything about it. And that's like, I would love to come on and be like, so yeah, there was this part and that was crazy. And Wonder Woman showing up at the end, like, oh man,
Oh,
what
Golden
a
Wonder
moment.
Woman.
But I was like, I flipped it and I literally went, okay.
Isn't
I
it
was like, I
crazy
just
how
don't care.
a Marvel story about a god of the symbiote coming down is way better than this?
It's better, yeah, isn't it?
It's so much better.
A story, by the way, that I have no context from because I couldn't give a shit about Venom or Null, and I read it and I was like, "This is good." Versus Metal, which has like every character I know ever in it, and I'm just like, "I don't care.
Yeah,
I
like
don't care about this."
the King in Black maybe get Venom by Donny Cates. Like that's how good it was. While Death Metal, I'm just like, I don't care at all.
That's the thing. When
I've-
at the start of King in Black, when everything's going to hell, I felt it, and then in this, the whole world looks like a desert pretty much, and I'm just like, it'll be fine because they're going to shoot some energy at another thing, and then the anti-crisis energy and the crisis energy will conflict, and then they'll build the multiverse, and then everyone will be one connected story, and all the fans will go,
Whoa,
"Thank you,
spoiler.
DC." Oh well, yo, sorry, bro. I don't even know who's in charge of DC, so I can't even do it.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, it's Dan the Dial here."
It's actually kind of what he sounds like.
Is it actually?
JD, where's that Wally West series, buddy?
Love that man.
It's just Death Metal is so uninspiring that I prefer Endless Winter.
Oh,
I thought Endless Winter was awesome this week. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it a lot because I'm not thinking of it as an event. I'm thinking it as a Justice League arc, and for that, it is very much enjoyable.
God, you slaughtered Death Metal with that, didn't you?
I did. We got part 3 and 4 came out this week. Part 3, we had Aquaman helping Mura like protect Atlantis, and Aquaman has to go like deep into the center of the earth to get fire trolls. I know it sounds stupid, but it was enjoyable how he was able to use his telekinesis to kind of communicate with them, and as he was burning, because it was like an oven to him, he was boiling alive, and it was really entertaining. Then
Like a lobster.
part 4, yeah, basically. Part 4, you had Jon Stewart defending the Hall of Justice with his life and being like, and he talked a lot how he's like, Barry talked a lot about family recently, and Jon Stewart thought, I don't have a family. Like, I don't know how that feels like. When Barry's like, what do you do between family and like work? How do you balance that? And then Barry had to run away before Jon could answer, and Jon was like, I don't even have a family. This is my life, is being leader of the Green Lantern Corps. It was interesting. It was seeing like the depression side of Jon Stewart. But yeah, it was good.
Well, thank you for that weekly endless winter update, Hunter.
You're
I hope
welcome.
You can get back to us next week and tell us what the fuck is going on.
I will do. I guess last comic that we quickly go over is Iron Man.
Yeah.
Why didn't you love it, Harper?
I did.
Oh, it wasn't your pick of the week though, and he.
No. I liked that. I liked Batman that much, but this is the first issue of this series where I was like, oh, things are making sense now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm just
so
realizing
the thing,
now.
like,
Sorry, go on. I'm noticing little hints in this book. But I know.
No, I was just gonna say that the thing with Patsy, and people have been getting annoyed by it for quite a while, it seems. And I was like sort of in the middle. I'm like, this is dumb, but I don't hate it. But it's, Patsy constantly, holding Tony accountable for things and mocking him for flaws that she has also. And it was, getting tied to a point where Tony would be like, a man builds an armor, then the man has responsibilities, then the man needs to save lives. What if he doesn't save enough lives? And she's like, I'm hearing a lot of man talk. And I think people, read it as like, oh my God, this is such propaganda trying to like take Tony Stark down. But I just kind of read it as like, oh, okay, he's a character just, attacking Tony for things that are out of his control, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then in this issue, that continues, and I was like, are they gonna do something with her? And then you get to the part where Patsy's like, I really like the man underneath, and Tony's just not getting it, and he's just like, but why do you stick around? Like, why are you trying to be my morality counselor? Why are you trying to help me through all this stuff? Like, it makes no sense. And she's like, you're not hearing me. I like the man underneath. And then of course they hook up, they get together, and I can see why some people would be like, oh my God, they reduced, the strong female character down to just a love interest and all that. But that's not, to me, that's not what it is. It's these two lost people that are very similar. Tony trying to like take all the blame and be like, everything's my fault. And Patsy trying to use Tony, as he is now, to kind of answer for her own flaws, and them finding solace in each other. And I'm like, to me, Patsy giving Tony a hard time for all of these things makes so much sense, because like she feels the same way about a lot of her own flaws. And then she sees them in Tony and she wants to fix them. And she's, she struggles to fix herself. So she's like, I'll fix Tony. And now because of it, she's like, fallen head over heels for Tony. And Tony's like, oh, it's kind of clicked for him as well. And I'm like, I don't know. To me, that makes sense, because it made no sense for her to just be there just to like, whisper in ear about that. That was my main criticism. I'm like, they need to do a reveal soon. Like, my theory was that she wasn't there. Like, for some reason, Tony had just selected her in his memory to be like,
damn,
like in his head the whole time. And I was like, that would make sense why she's picking up all these things. But the fact that she genuinely likes Tony, I'm like, oh, that makes sense why she's so invested in his arc and his struggle and him trying to be accountable. And even though he keeps being a dick, why she keeps coming back to that. And I'm like, I don't know. And it was cool. I mean, they did like very metaphorically where she gets like the lightning scar on her face and she's all cracked. And so that's like I'm cracked on the outside and now you'll see me from within, blah, blah, blah. And, we finally got that moment, but it was just nice to, I don't know. It was nice to go, oh, this is what Cantwell is going for. Like, these two people coming together and finding solace within each other. So I was like, yay, Iron Man, good again, finally.
Man, you looked into this issue way more than I did. I was more into...
Dude, it's like one of 3 characters that I've read everything on. I kind of need to. It's almost like... It's like I'm History of Iron Man.
I was more into like this stuff here, like her hearing voices. And it's louder. And Tony's just like, whoa. Have you gotten checked by a doctor? She's like, I'm not schizophrenic. This is actually happening.
Oh, yeah. But that's the thing. I kind of like, this is the first issue that they're kind of making good on that promise where Tony's just going to turn around and be like, can you guys fucking leave me alone? Like when they're saying, oh, James Rhodes is missing, Tony, why aren't you doing enough? And he's like, he's my best friend. Can you leave me alone and stop trying to pretend like you know me? Because none of you do. And then to Patsy, he's like, he's kind of a prick. He's just like, are you know, you've had problems in the past. Are you sure she's like, no, listen to me, idiot. And then he does. And it's like, I don't know. It's cool to see that Cantwell is kind of finding a voice for Tony again, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah, for sure.
It seems like this issue, he's finally got a grasp on like who he wants Tony to be, where he's trying so desperately to be like more of a, I'm embracing what other people think, but at the same time, he's just like, maybe that's the wrong thing to do. Maybe the only person whose opinion I should care about is Patsy, not, you know, everyone on Twitter tweeting, oh, Tony Stark, you're such a dick. Like, I think that's cool.
House.
Tony in the house. Fat Tony in the house.
I love that Twitter.
Yeah, that was funny.
Something that kind of made me like, you seem to be looking at Tony Stark for the most part, while I was a bit more looking towards the Iron Man of the side of Tony. This comic's getting cosmic. I did not expect
it
that
is,
to come from
yeah.
an Iron Man comic. So you find out what this what the antagonist's plan is, and I'm gonna find Galactus's ship and I'm gonna run it, kind of thing. It's like,
yeah.
So right now,
yeah, I did think that was interesting.
Galactus is dead currently, so I don't think they all know that though. But Galactus is dead. If they show him alive, it'll be like, come on, man. But
maybe that's just him coming back.
He is dead as of like a few months ago. Thor actually killed him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Thor
That's
like just
recent.
killed him like a couple issues ago in Thor. But yeah, he is dead. But that's why they didn't mention that they're going to find Galactus. They're going to a ship.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm interested in. The next issue has like Curry Crackle planets, cosmic effect everywhere. So
cool. Yeah.
I'm like, God damn, this is a cosmic book now instead of like more of the street level that started in.
Which is very cool because I like that it started where you're like, oh, this could just be one of the movies. Like it's that grounded, and now it's like Korvac's about to make himself like a massive entity again. Like,
yeah,
I mean, he's just been like a dude in a goatee walking around being like, I'm gonna charge myself full of electricity, Tony. I did like Patsy. Patsy's dialogue was so good. She was like, didn't he like kill you all? And Tony's like, yeah, but we came back. And she's just like, yeah, because he brought you back. Tony thinks he's like, yeah, we'll be fine. And she's like, but you had nothing to do with that.
That's a good point. Yeah, I like this issue a lot. Actually, it was
so did I.
Week. I did prefer Rorschach a little bit, but I think this will be my second pick before Batman even. So I give it like a 9.
Yeah, I think all of those issues were better than Superman.
And I think all those issues were better than Death Metal too.
Oh God, I forgot about Death Metal. We just spoke about it. I already forgot it exists.
And that's the comics of the week. I'm not going to go over. Oops, my camera just turned off. That's the comics of the week.
If you're listening, it doesn't matter because you won't be able to see it anyway.
You guys can go ahead and do your. Oh, Harper, you want to try doing an outro? I guess we didn't plan that.
Not really.
Yeah, I'll take over. I'll be taking the reins here. Thank you for listening to A Hero Story. This was a fun episode to do. We started it by just talking around, which was really fun.
CGC stuff, yeah.
CGC, I love that. But yeah, thanks for listening. If you enjoyed listening, we appreciate a 5-star review or whatever you think we're worth. I hope it's 5 stars. Follow, subscribe, do your thing, and yeah, keep it comics. So
and if you liked me or you hated me being a permanent member, message us and tell us, and who knows what'll happen. Maybe they'll kill me.
Just message Comic Rebirth and be like, I liked you or you sucked.
Yep.
So he can know.
I want you to be a ritualistic sacrifice to the price a hero pays gods.
I'm sure a lot of people will be like, yeah, keep Harper on, except for Ray Fisher, who might be like, get him off.
And Tyler will be like, why you got that guy?
So all right, for A Hero Story, I'm JD.
I'm Hunter, and thanks for being a hero.
And remember,
and every second is a gift.
Robbed. And I'm done.